Cal, SSG2211. And we have Pulp Culture Republic, Apion,
Hello.
and Positive Candor. Hope everyone's having a good evening so far.
Yeah, doing pretty well.
Yeah, me too.
Good.
Hello, Lester. Are you? And we got Pop in the panel with us. Thank you, Pop. And we're gonna just yeah, we're gonna start off right off the bat with these two episodes.
Okay.
Should be fun. Yay.
Yay. All right, let me just get everything set up here real quick.
Sabine the Jedi Show. Great.
Ah,
That
I always knew she had it in her.
That turn off. That turn off. Okay, let's see here. Skip the recap, skip the intro. Okie dokie. All right, we're going to talk about Star Wars Ahsoka, Episode 7, Dreams and Madness. Ooh, Dreams and Madness.
Because Ray Stevenson says it. He said the thing. I totally had the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing at the TV. He said it.
So we're let's see, at the New Republic Council, and let's see if I can get a good picture.
I like that shot, of course. That's like one of the better shots in the episode.
Mhm.
Yeah. If I can
There's a lot going on. It's nice to look at.
Here we go. So Hera,
yes.
Hera, General Syndulla, was commanded to be in this council meeting with the senators, and she might be court-martialed and lose her rank because she was helping Ahsoka and Sabine in a mission that wasn't given permission. So she's in trouble here. This guy right here, I don't know how to say his name, Senator Zino or something like that. The one in the green spiffy outfit.
Yeah, Senator Easy Target. I don't know.
And then you have Madam Chancellor right here.
Yeah.
Senator Zeno, was strongly opposed that General Hera taking the her rule by of the fighters by herself, really, like she take command without permission, and I guess the senators, it didn't really like that. I don't really see the chancellor having a problem with that, though, to be honest. It's just the rest of the senators they had a problem with, especially this guy right here.
Well, yeah, from what I understood of it, it was like Hera disobeyed the orders of the committee, and the one lone guy is not the committee. It's like him and, as we see here, 4 other people who you would assume all voted to disallow Hera's going off mission all willy-nilly like that. But Hera has pretty much singled out him for her scorn. It's like just kind of a way of take that, lone guy.
Does Admiral Akbar even talk in this scene, or he just sits there? I don't think he speaks.
I don't think
I think he just like looks and like does like a a reaction shot.
Yeah.
It's a trap. No, yeah, you're totally right. It's just Hera's getting reamed out basically by this guy, and Mon Mothma, like you said, she's totally not, against what she did, but she has to kind of put on a front that she is because she's in this committee group.
I
Yeah,
mean,
she
the
said,
way I took it was that they all voted to uh,
You'd
basically
think.
forbid. It's like you went against the orders of the council or committee, not just the one guy, but all of the committee.
yeah, so General Hera basically, took the mission by herself. That was against orders. She did it anyway because she's helping, Ahsoka and Sabine, and she might be court-martialed for that right here with the New Republic committee.
Yeah, but we all know
Um,
she won't.
yeah, and General Zeno, however I pronounce his name, you know, was strongly opposed against it, saying there's like this is like a government, it has rules and laws, and says that General Hera Syndulla seems to have no problem bending to her personal agenda. Oh, so we're getting so he has like I don't know why, but he has like a grudge against Hera, it seems. Um and like Hera was like saying like it was my job protecting the people of this republic, and that was exactly what what she was doing in the best way she knew how. And the Senator Zeno, says, "I see you were protecting the new republic by ignoring direct orders." And she's like, "No, I protected the New Republic by ignoring you." Shots fired.
Ooh, burn.
Burn.
Got him.
Again, that's just I don't know. That's just something childish about that dialogue. Again, it's not just him; it's him and the four other members of that committee, and they all voted. But I don't know.
Yeah,
This seems like a very childish way of having Hera stand up to the man,
right.
fight the patriarchy, or some shallow attempt to show Hera doing that sort of thing. It's silly, really.
Right. And the Madam Chance was like, Senator Designo, can we at least agree that the um that General Hera Syndulla actions brought to light there was an incident on planet Cetos. I think that's the name of the planet.
Yeah,
Um
rhymes with Cheetos.
Cheetos. Yeah. I'd like some Cheetos, to be honest. I
Yeah,
don't have any.
Do they
Aw.
even bring up the 2 X-wing pilots that died?
I don't think
I
so, to
don't
be
think so.
honest.
Huh. Wow.
Um,
Very insignificant. They could have had like a family member in the court like crying with like a kid or something to show like what she did has some repercussions, but
Yeah. It's like the
can't do that.
repercussions
Can't
of your actions for going rogue against the orders of all the committee members here.
yeah,
right. And
the
that's
show
when
does that a lot. There's no repercussions for your actions.
Yeah.
Just you were
hmm,
right the whole time.
so the Captain Teva right here, right behind Hera comes in, and uh I think Senator Sino says about the incident. Uh, he got a report from the incident from planet Cetos, but said it was like reading a child's fairy tale. Jedi, false Jedi, star maps,
Which
star
is
whales,
ridiculous.
distant galaxy. Honestly, how can you
Yeah.
believe any of it? I mean, he, I
The
mean,
events here
I,
aren't too
I,
far. Yeah.
I don't really see how you see that. It's honestly hard to believe when this is Star
Jedis
Wars we're
exist.
talking about.
Luke Skywalker exists.
Yes. And the events that take place in this series are only a few years after
Mm-hmm.
Return of the Jedi. It's like they all would have remembered Darth Vader. They all would have remembered Death Star blowing up, the Ewoks. Yeah, some of them were probably there for that. So yeah.
Right.
an evil emperor that could shoot lightning from his hands.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that was all, a fairy tale. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
And-
this would only work if it was like hundreds of years later, like, and there's no Jedi around to defend it or whatever. So it's just like, yeah, then people could probably start to think it doesn't have any chance of being real. But just like you were
right.
saying, it's only a couple years later.
Right. Not too much of a time gap, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we'd still have Luke, Han, and Leia still running around doing whatever they're doing during
Right.
these events.
Does he not believe Hu Yang existed? He literally was training Jedi 2,500 years. So
Yeah.
what was he doing then? Like,
Training Jedi younglings.
yeah, so it's like his presence alone. If he just walked in the corridor, she like showed a picture of Hu Yang. Like, what was this? What was this droid's job? Oh, he was a trainer of younglings. And so they weren't real. Your argument's moot now. You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hera is like, says to the committee, or council, whatever you want to call it, that Morgan was leading a coordinated effort by the Imperial Regiment, and Senator Zeno says, "Objection! Imperial Regiment, such a sensational term."
Oh, please. The level of this writing.
He asked, "Is there any proof?" No, there is no proof of any coordination between the scattered and dwindling number of Imperial forces. And Captain Teva, right here, says, "What about the conflict of Mandalore? Trying to like help Hera?" And Senator Zino says, "Exactly my point. Gideon was a warlord acting on his own. There is no proof of a creator conspiracy, and thus no immediate threat to his republic." So she is trying to stand up to back up and stand up for her, but it backfired. Whoops. And Hera's like saying, if that will change really quickly if Ron returns. And Senator Xeno's like, it's just like scoffs or saying if. And she's like, in disbelief, saying, I don't know what frightens me more, the possibility of what might happen, or your unwillingness to see it. So she's trying to convince the committee that Thrawn's return is a really a great threat. But Thrawn and Ezra have been MIA for like a decade now at this point. So they're like, they're really hard pressed to to like really believe that the potential that Thrawn is going to return.
The boogeyman.
The boogeyman.
So scary.
Goodness.
He's so scary.
Scary.
Hello, Killer
Thrawn's
Rabbit
gonna
in
get you.
space. How are you doing?
Hello, Killer Rabbit.
I always check my closet at night for Thrawn. I make sure he's not in there.
That's right.
It's very
Look
and under my bed.
Look underneath the bed.
Thrawn
for
might
the
be down there.
boogeyman. Yeah.
Yeah.
The boogeyman.
And like Senator Xeno's like, will tell you what I see. I see a general who abuses her authority for personal gain, and I will not stand for it. And says he motions that General Harrison Dula be court-martialed for disobeying a direct order. And you can see the Madam Chancellor's face that she doesn't want to do that.
What would she personally gain? I know that's a
Yeah.
lot in the show. I'm trying to understand his point. Like, what does she gain from it? From lying, and she's going to get promoted to admiral or something? Is that what they think she wants? Like, what?
And then
it makes no sense.
It's this level of writing is just silly.
A little bit, yeah.
Don't worry, we get to
So we hear like
Wow.
familiar voice in the background. And, and the guard's like saying, ID, please. And it's 3CPO, and he's trying to get into the committee courtroom. And the guard's like, ID, please. Like, he's like, part of the intrusion. He's like, identification. Like and
it's a droid that was literally created by Anakin Skywalker.
And 3PO's like,
Right.
identification. I need to show you identification. Please let me through in 3CPO. And Madam Chancellor's like, 3PO? And that's, thanks to the Madam Chancellor, he was granted access.
Yeah, because they were very droidish. They were very
Uh-huh.
anti-droid.
Like no one would know who this guy was.
Not only Ahsoka, really, at this point, and Han and Leia, really. Madam Chan's just like, why are you here? And CPU's like, honored Chancellor, with respect, I am here on behalf of Senator Leia Organa. So I guess Leia Organa heard about this meeting, apparently. That Senator Organa has become aware of a unfortunate situation, and which is to present this data transcript, which she hopes will resolve the matter. One of the committee members takes the data script from 3CPO, and Senator's like Zeno's like, strongly objects to this. And I think 3PO says the transcript shows that the Senator Organa personally sanctioned General Syndulla a reconnaissance mission to planet Cetos, being regrettably unaware that Senator Zeno held a vote against such a mission without her. Ooh, interesting. Didn't know that. And Senator Zeno is like, this is preposterous. The court cannot admit evidence of this kind from a mere droid. I'm like, mere droid? Like, do you look at him? He's gold-plated. He ain't no mere droid.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the most important droids to ever exist.
Yeah, only there for the first of it, from the very start. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, Chopper, who's right next to Captain Teva, I don't know how many person his name is, got mad, and Captain had to hold Chopper back.
I just like to call him Star Wars Nick Fury. Because he's in all the new products and he's trying to bring all the people together.
Yep.
Have an initiative. If he gets a patch eye at one point, that'd be great.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. 3PO says, Senator Organa is willing to overlook this misstep, but asks that he address any further concerns to her directly in her role as leader of the Defense Council. And Madam Chancellor turns to Senator Zeno. Seeing that seems that the medal has settled, unless he remains unsatisfied, and he says no. And he just looks so totally defeated. It like 3PO she got unscathed of not being court-martialed here, Hera, thanks to the 3PO and apparently Princess Leia or Senator Leia at this point. And 3PO was like, "You're a droid." he himself couldn't believe he was called a mere droid.
It's ridiculous. Literally so important to space flight, everyday activities. Like without droids, they wouldn't have advanced to the point they're at.
This whole
Ridiculous.
scene was stupid. All it was essentially was bringing C-3PO out as a member bearer. Like, here, remember C-3PO back when Star Wars was good?
I like member berries.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
You remember?
Yeah, really.
Remember Luke Skywalker? Remember Chewbacca? You remember?
Yeah, remember when Star Wars was good? Now we're getting this crap.
Oh.
Remember when Hera got acquitted? Remember?
Ouch. So the Madam Chancellor asks if she could speak with Hera. She's like, Hera says, of course. Madam Chancellor says, I don't know what you and Leia are playing at, but I know she did not authorize your mission. So that was a lie that Hera set up? Oh, interesting. A rather risky move on her part, if that's, really true. But Hera says Princess Leia did eventually. So during the mission, I guess.
I don't know. It's they never explain it. It leaves you guessing. It leaves you trying to speculate. How did Hera even rope C-3PO into doing this little bit? I mean, was C-3PO just sitting around doing nothing? Did he have a lot of free time on his hands? He could just show up?
I don't know. They haven't really explained how did Hera got in contact with Princess Leia or 3CPO. Like, they didn't really explain that. Like, how did she contact them?
Yeah, it's kind of alluded that Hera didn't have any contact with Princess Leia or Senator Leia at this point. She didn't clear anything with Leia, but somehow she managed to get C-3PO there to kind of falsify his testimony or whatever. I mean, that's kind of what they're alluding to. It's like, Hera pulled one over. Got away with it.
It's definitely seen like get at this point, she pulled on one over, really, just to save her own ass, really.
Yeah. But it just strains. It's just not realistic. It's like, how did you get C-3PO without Leia knowing, without anybody knowing where C-3PO was going? I mean, he's a pretty important figure because he's like an aide to Princess Leia or Senator Leia at this point. So any kind of absence from C-3PO would be pretty noteworthy. It's like,
and he's a scaredy cat.
Yeah,
he's scared to do anything.
Yeah, where's C-3PO? We need him for this protocol, this diplomatic mission. We need a protocol droid for. Where'd he go? Oh, he's off at some subcommittee meeting. Why is he at this subcommittee meeting? What's he doing there?
To save Hera's ass.
Right. Oh, and why does she need saving? I mean, what's this subcommittee about? I don't know any of this.
She disobeyed a direct order.
Yeah, so that's disobeying a direct order from the committee, lying about it, and then somehow roping C-3PO in to continue the lie. I mean, to really accept this scene, it's like the level of bad writing here. It's like, I don't even have any notes for this scene. I'm just poking holes in it just by asking questions. So like, you can easily poke holes in the logic of this scene. And we've got the whole rest of the episode to go.
Basically, just Hera did something against orders in another episode. She goes on trial. She gets out of it.
Yeah.
Hey, Pine and Wannabe. Hey, Castle. How are you guys doing? Thanks for being here. Don't forget to leave a like, share the stream out, and if you'd like to see here, subscribe.
If Yeah,
So,
half hour in, we're still on the first scene.
I know.
This is
So,
gonna be a long one.
We'd better pick it up, I guess. We don't want to be all night.
Madam Chancellor says, like, to Hera, put your personal feelings aside and don't deny them that you have them. How real is the threat of Thrawn's return? Hera says we have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And that takes us to the next scene, really. Well, let's see if I can.
It's funny that she said that. That's what I say whenever I watch Disney Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
If I can get a scene here. All right, here we go. No, that's not it. Dang it. Oh, here we go. There's good. So, Ahsoka on the Jedi shuttle / spaceship, I guess is training, and you see a hologram Anakin Skywalker. I guess it was like a hologram recording when he was like,
Yeah, he made like 24 of them or something.
That's what Ahsoka said. Or 24 or 20. I think she said 20.
Somewhere in 20, yeah, somewhere in the 20.
Yeah, like a case full.
So this is like a hologram recording of him teaching her. I guess when she was still a student at that time, when she was still apprentice, really. So she's training.
I like Hayden's acting every time he comes back as
Anakin.
Like he's playing the perfect version of him where he's not unhinged yet, like he is in Revenge. He's
not unhinged yet.
In the Clone Wars, it's like that perfect level of calmness and like
calm. He's a military man. Into the temptation of the dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, calm and collected.
I like to see him in the armor too from the Clone Wars.
So Anakin's giving her some teaching points here. Hey, Admiral Teague. In this war, you will face more than just droids. General Grievous, Asajj Ventress, and even Count Dooku. So this was a time during the Clone Wars here.
Oh yeah.
And he said you can face any one of them on the battlefield. As your master, it's my responsibility to prepare you. So practice these forms often, or at least more than I do. So he admits he doesn't really train.
But then he doesn't really need to train. He was pretty good.
No, because he's the chosen one. Why would the chosen one need to train?
He's like one of the oldest at that point. He was like one of the oldest, because he's too old to begin the training.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like he's literally like the best pilot, the best lightsaber wielder.
Yeah, it all came naturally to him. He failed at times, but he still had a kind of like an innate ability.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And fighting in the Clone Wars for like 4 years? That's really where he
something like that
became like the perfect version of
trial by fire.
Yeah.
Right. It's definitely a member berry right here in the scene for sure. Mm-hmm. And Anakin's hologram recording Anakin says, I won't always be there to look out for you. If we get separated or if something happens, you need to be able to make it on your own. Don't be afraid. Just remember what I taught you and trust your instincts. I know you can do this, Ahsoka. I'm like, Ahsoka? Usually he calls her Snips. That's her nickname.
Yep.
I was kind of surprised by that because she doesn't really call her Ahsoka. Just he more often calls her by her nickname. I guess like tomato with that. I guess
maybe just being a little bit more formal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like when he recorded these, it was all like in the wartime. So and like they were separated a lot on missions. Yeah. So it does make sense why he'd make the recordings, I guess, because like I said, they're separated for a lot of stuff. Yeah. He still wanted to train her and mentor her when they had distance.
Yeah, And
Yeah, here's some training tapes before I become Dark Lord of the Sith. Oh, oops.
Yeah. Always respect the other younglings.
Yeah.
and robot Hugh Wing, I might get that name wrong, enters the room, and Ahsoka says like either Anakin made 20 or 24 of these hologram recordings, and I think Hugh Wing says that was very thoughtful, and he never realized like wait a minute, you never realized like did he supposedly met Anakin? Maybe.
I would assume so. On Coruscant, when Anakin was training there.
Yeah,
and stuff.
on Coruscant at the Jedi Temple training younglings. I mean, if there's anybody else who would have known Anakin and possibly what Anakin did, it would have been Q Wang.
Yeah, because I would assume Huang taught him like when he made his first lightsaber, like how to assemble the kyber crystal into it and everything. Like,
Yep.
I don't think Obi-Wan like step by step guided him to that. I think that's what Huang was there for. So I'm sure they met.
But it doesn't really allude to it though. Quite honestly,
there's a point where somebody asked Hu Wang what Ahsoka's master was like, and he kind of hesitated and said he was intense.
Yeah.
Intense.
Yeah. That's Hu Wang describing Anakin.
And he probably doesn't want to like say anything crazy that'll be like disrespectful to Ahsoka's relationship with him. So
Yeah. Because like he was intense for a future Dark Lord of the Sith who killed a bunch of people and destroyed the Jedi Temple. Yeah, that was
really
just
heralded in the dark.
Was this was this like before he went to the dark side?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Clone Wars was before Revenge of the Sith, so this is him during those years.
No, I mean Hugh Wing. Was this like when he means intense? Does he mean like?
No, that was in a previous episode of Ahsoka.
Right, what I'm getting is
probably both, because when he was a young Padawan, he was also intense and reckless and brash and Attack of the Clones. So,
right.
I'm sure he's talking about probably that version of Anakin that he knew the most. The arrogant, cocky. He's holding me back. That version of of him. It's not
there's still a lot of history to these characters that we haven't seen, even though we have so many seasons of the Clone Wars and whatnot.
Right. And Ahsoka right here, like, see if I can, change the scene a little bit. Let's see if I can get it. Well, I can't really get it, but Ahsoka says that he was a good master. Yeah, he was a good master, and before he went all crazy, and became Darth Vader.
Yeah,
he had a few good years before the bad ones.
Yeah, but yeah, you can definitely tell that she misses her master.
Yeah, and I liked her. She had a really strong relationship with Padme too, and I think it was in Tales of the Jedi they showed that she like secretly went to Padme's funeral. So she was like there in the shadows, like witnessing, because like they were friends in the Clone Wars too. So I did like, so she was not only close to Anakin but Padme as well. So like that's a big thing for her. Is like she was like almost part of their family basically, like a little sister to him.
Pretty much. So Hui Wing says, like, he thinks that the wheels may be reaching the end of their journey. And Ahsoka asks him, like, what makes you think that? He says, according to my instruments, their speed is decreasing. Okay. Good to know. So they head to the front of the cockpit and they're out of hyperspace. But since they're in a new galaxy, Hillwing asks, like, how we find Sabine, how we suppose we do that?
Don't worry.
If we indeed had traveled to another galaxy, our star treks will be useless.
Things will just work out.
So they're just
work
going
out. Barely
in.
an inconvenience.
Yeah, how
They're
convenient.
going in with, I guess they're like really just shooting a dart at the map at this point and just see what
They're
happens.
going to be where they need to be because of plot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the quick and dirty way. They're going to show up where they need to show up because that's how it's written.
Shot of the
It's
dark
like,
here, I
yeah,
guess.
it's not a needle in a haystack when poof, they just happen to show up at the right planet, at the right place, at the right time.
And avoid all the minefield that Thrawn sets up.
Yes.
Yeah, like, Ahsoka's like, she came here with the enemy. We'll find the enemy, and we find Sabine. Okay, so are you automatically gonna put yourself in danger to find Sabine here? Okay, that's a good strategy.
Mhm.
Hey Dialect, how are you?
Hello.
And like
Hello.
Huang's like direct to the point as always, and she's like, "That's my style." And Huang points out that she assumes that the star whales or the Purgles have brought them to the correct galaxy, let alone the same system or even the same planet where Lady Ren / Sabine was taken. So yeah, they're doing like they took a risk to go with the space whales here, so they're
Yeah.
not really sure they're gonna like end up where they're when he thinks they're supposedly going. Hey Dalek. Yes, I am multi-streaming on Twitch right now, and I'm also multi-streaming on Twitter as well. You can check me out on let's see if I can get my link here.
Oh, cool.
You can follow me on all of my social links on here on Linktree. You can follow me all of my socials on there. Okay, back to this. So Ahsoka says like she thinks the odds are pretty good. Well, that's really a positive outlook.
Hu Yang says what everybody's thinking. I love Hu Yang so much. He's like, "What? No, they're ridiculously terrible odds. What are you talking about?" He's so great.
Everybody says like no. In fact, they are terrible, astronomically terrible. And Ahsoka's like, well, you should have said something. And Huang's like, I did, but you never. And she's smiling, and Huang just like groans.
Yeah.
Like the good old days when C-3PO was like, "Oh, the odds of surviving this are something to 1," and then Han Solo says the classic line, "Never tell me the odds."
Yep.
Oh, those were the good days. Good time.
Yeah, Huang says the worst part is, I hope you're right. Ahsoka says, I know you do. And they, exit the hyperspace. So they're gonna find out where they are. And Huang's like initiating scan, saying he's picking up a lot of interference. And Ahsoka says there's something wrong. And Huang's, detecting multiple objects in their path. So they're gonna. Ahsoka says, "Let's get out of here." And Huang's like, "Maybe you're safer in here." Yeah, you're safe in the spaceship, but that doesn't really count if the spaceship gets blown up. So apparently there's like they're in like there's like a imperial minefield waiting for them. And they're like going off on not only on the space shuttles, but on on the ship itself. They're like trying to head towards the planet, uh, without getting scathed here at this point. Yeah, minefields. So Thrawn, like from the previous episode, set a trap for the Purgles, just because he knows that the possibility someone might hitch a ride with the whales, just like him and Ezra did a decade earlier. So he was like prepared to bombard the space whales, because there's a possibility that Ahsoka will hitch a ride with space whales, and yeah, he wasn't wrong with that.
He fails
So,
gloriously, but he tried.
well, yeah, he tries.
Doesn't even take out a single Purgle. They dip, they escape. Does minimal to almost no damage to Ahsoka's ship. Man, just no stakes. Like, it's a cool looking scene, I guess. It's not bad to look
Yeah.
at. Her dipping through the explosions, but it's just like there's nothing. I'm not afraid for the main character because I know she's gonna make it to the planet like 100%. But
Right. Some of the space whales were like going to hyperspace to get out of the minefield.
Mhm.
And Humane and Ahsoka are still like moving out of the minefield to get to the planet, and stuff like that. And they did like successfully get to the planet, somehow unscathed, really. And let's see. Now we're at the Star Destroyer, or the temple, or tower, right here.
Yeah, but the Star Destroyer parked on top, so you're right about both things.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the valet parking spot.
Yeah, I think the captain, the go place person,
Enoch?
Trooper, Enoch. Yes, Enoch.
Captain?
Thank you,
Mhm.
Captain. Reports to Admiral Thrawn that as you anticipated, the minefield was triggered by a pod of arriving star whales. Among them was what was it? A T6 Jedi shuttle, I think is what he said.
I think so.
And Thrawn says it seems that Ahsoka Tano is alive and well. And Morgan gives Thrawn everything of the inquisitorial database, I think she said, that she had on Ahsoka Tano. And Thrawn looks at it, and he just looks back at her, looks at Morgan, like her master was Anakin Skywalker. And Morgan says, yes. So, I think Admiral Thrawn was taken back when he saw that, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be shocking to find out. Like, he should be said, like, how did I never know about this? Like, with all his knowledge and vast experience. But
yeah,
for somebody who's supposed to be prepared and knowledgeable and prepared for all situations, it's like this is news to him.
Palpatine really kept him in the dark. He didn't tell anybody about his master 40-year plan or whatever, 20 years in the making, however long he had planned it. And it's like, well, that's wild. Or even tell him about Ahsoka, for that matter. Like, I could understand not telling him about Anakin because that's like his trump card. Like, his master plan is to seduce the Skywalkers. But like, Ahsoka wouldn't matter enough, but it would still warrant telling one of your best military advisors, like, hey, there's this Jedi named Ahsoka. She's caused a lot of stirring in the Clone Wars. Might be you want to keep an eye on her, but well,
yeah. And Thrawn's like asking, like, are you certain there's only one starship? Enoch says correct. Our fighters have engaged the target and pursued them into the debris field, which is like really a graveyard where that the Purgles die, sadly. Thrawn says excellent. Withdraw fighters and have them on standby. Morgan's asking why not allow them to follow. Thrawn says there's no need to waste resources. Because they're stranded for first of all.
Which makes me wonder where they get the resources to make that gigantic minefield.
Yeah, they had those all just lying around his
like
Star Destroyer.
tens of thousands of mines that they just conveniently had.
Maybe they never used them to begin with when they were still in their own galaxy.
There's only so many mines a Star Destroyer can hold, essentially.
Right. I mean, yeah, I'd agree with you. It has to be a limit with that. Yeah.
Not tens and tens of thousands.
Like, just got done wasting a huge resource, and then he's like, let's not waste any more resources. I'm a genius, don't you know? Like, okay, when are you going to start showing us that? It'd be nice to see you make one move that was, like, actually brilliant.
We're not going to get it in this show.
It would have been so much better just to have, like, when, Morgan's like, let me give you this data pad on Ahsoka and everything. He's like, I already am familiar with Ahsoka Tano and her master Anakin. I'm already aware. Like, but no, we can't have him, be smart right out. He's got to get a pad and be like, oh, now I learned. Like, and he had 10 years sitting around. Like, he could have been doing all his own research and preparing himself for something. Like, what was he doing for 10 years? I'm so confused.
I could be wrong about this, but in the EU lore, isn't Thrawn the guy that had a beef with Grand Moff Tarkin saying, no, the Empire really needs a larger fleet of ships instead of putting all their resources into a giant space station? Unless I'm thinking of somebody else that had a beef with Grand Moff Tarkin.
But they were secretively making a bunch of Star Destroyers with Death Star lasers on Exegol, you see. Right. And they hit them underground.
Yes.
There's plenty of resources to go around for that.
What he's like doing for all these years, apparently having the local cuisine.
Right.
Oh yeah, those crabs go right to your belly with some butter. That's why they're, that's why they hide.
Hitting the local buffet every chance you can get. Going to the Star Wars equivalent of Golden Corral or what have you.
Hey, you gotta eat, all right?
Yeah. Let's head down to the local Golden Trough and just scarf it all in.
Sir, may I have seconds? No, they're all for me.
Dun, dun, dun. It's part of my evil plan.
You already agreed to become a zombie later. You don't need any food.
Oh man.
Morgan.
We'll get to that.
Morgan tells Thrawn, with due respect, Red Animal, without pursuit, we shall lose them in the debris field. Thrawn says, you're quite right. Of course, Jedi are very good at hiding. I've been practicing that for years. However, we're getting to know our adversary, and if she anything like her master, she will be unpredictable and quite dangerous, which is why you must control all variables. Put her on the path of her own choosing, so that no matter which direction she takes, she'll be we always be one step ahead of her. So
he never is ever.
So he's being very strategic right here.
He thinks he is.
Well, he thinks, yeah.
Man, he's just so not threatening. It's just such a bummer. I wanted him to be scary and menacing and like, oh gosh, what's this crazy guy gonna do next? Oh, he lost
But
again.
this isn't.
Okay. Oh, he
Yeah,
lost
this
again.
isn't the Thrawn from the novels, and it's not even the Thrawn from the
Star Wars
Clone
Rebels.
Wars. Yeah, or Rebels.
Where is it? Come on. Give me the scene. I guess
I see
that'll
dead
have
things.
Mm-hmm. They're hiding in the elephant graveyard from Lion King.
Right.
Yeah, they're in the space whale graveyard hiding. Yeah, Ahsoka and Hewing are hiding from Admiral Thrawn at this point. So they're hiding. You know, I don't know for how long though. We go to the so we switch that from there, and we have Ezra and Sabine, talking. And they're
Riveting stuff.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So they're catching up here. He's still trying to process everything. I guess Sabine told him was the Empire defeated. She's like, Battle of Endor. The Emperor died. That's what the people say.
Oh, that line.
That's what the people say. I like up here.
Yeah. All roads lead to Disney Star Wars trilogy. No matter how much wishful thinking there is out there, all roads will lead to Disney Star Wars trilogy. There's no escaping it at this point.
So she's being very mysterious with that quote.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, there's a new republic. Zeb? Is it Zeb? I forget his name.
I think it's Zeb.
Is training recruits, and Hera commanding a fleet, and he says he missed everything. And Sabine's like, I was beginning to think we've never find you. That's just like, how did you? She's like, what? Find me? You never said. And she's like, it's complicated. So she didn't really tell him quite yet how she found him. Yeah, like I hitched a ride with the enemy to find you.
Yeah, I just allowed myself to be captured, gave the bad guys a star map, and they took me along for the ride. Yeah, I can't explain it. It's just what happened.
She doesn't
crazy.
She doesn't want to tell how what lengths she went through to be reunited with him.
He's the worst character.
Oh, isn't this
By
also
far.
the scene where Sabine says, "Oh yeah, and Ahsoka took me as an apprentice," and Ezra looks at her and says, "You? She took you?"
Well, yeah,
Like, why?
before he said that, he asked her like the usual level of worse. She's like, worse. Yeah. And he's like, we'll talk something about something else. But he wants to get home.
Yeah.
And then Sabine says, Ahsoka took me on her apprentice. And Ezra's like, she what? I mean,
yeah.
What? She what? Why?
Why?
Mean, congratulations.
Which pretty much everyone in the audience is asking, is like, why?
Yeah, that's pretty much like, exactly. Why?
Why? You're not force sensitive. Oh, not yet.
not
couldn't
yet.
move
You
a
can't use
fucking cup.
can't use a force. You're a trained Mandalorian, weapons systems expert, mechanically inclined, pretty badass character to begin with, but you want to be a Jedi? I mean,
You know what made me like her character a bit more is that scene where she couldn't move the cup. If she would have just like
right.
got frustrated and like shot it with her like Mandalorian like rope thing and like pulled it with that, and she's like, I knew I could
Yes.
go it one way or the other. Like that would have made me like her and been funny and stuff. But no, they just
Yeah, because
they
the
fully leaned in.
Mandalorians developed techniques to counter everything the Jedi could do, either to counter or replicate.
Yep.
He just comes off so smug and arrogant and just unapologetic, like never has to pay for what she did. It's crazy.
Yeah, Sabine in the Rebels series was a much more likable character. I don't really like this Sabine too much, the way she's written.
Yeah, she's like a
Right.
30-year-old trapped in like a 13-year-old's body or something.
Yeah.
She acts like a spoiled teenage brat. I don't know.
So she's like, Sabine chuckles, saying, "Really, you? Go on." He's like, "No, that's great. Makes sense, of course." No, it doesn't. You trained a little before, back when I was first learning.
She couldn't
to-
move a
to-
cup, so that training did nothing.
Not in my recollection. She was just shooting blasters and being an artist.
Yeah, the only
that, you know,
training
that-
she had in Rebels was under Kanan, who was teaching her how to use the dark saber to fight a duel against the other Mandalorian for the right to claim the leadership of the Mandalorians. I mean, that was the only reason why she needed lightsaber training.
Right. Sabine says she remembers, and Ezra's asking, "Well, where's Ahsoka? Is she coming?" Heavy, and Sabine does a heavy sigh, saying, So another thing hasn't told Ezra about.
Oh goodness!
He looks at her, saying it's complicated. She's like, "Yeah."
That's all you need.
She's not really telling him what's going on.
What is it? The plot line, the scene? Is it complicated? Yeah.
Yeah, imagine like you're in court for something you did, and you're on trial, and they're like, "Tell us what happened. Those events. It's complicated, Your Honor." Okay, that's all we need to hear.
Okay,
All
that's
right,
it. That's
on.
it.
Moving on.
Yep.
You're clear. Good to go.
Moving right along. Next.
Yep.
Like, damn.
Moving right
I plead
along.
the fifth. Like that Dave Chappelle bit.
We see
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enjoy them while we can.
Baylan and Shin here on 2 howlers, which looks like rat dogs to me, but whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, with a bunch of bandits trying to look for Ezra and Sabine here.
At least they get dialogue in this episode.
Well,
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
knowing where it leads, it's very disappointing.
We'll get that in
Yeah.
a bit here. So, the Great Mothers / Night Sisters. This is the head Night Sister, I guess.
Claudia Black.
Yep.
She just had her birthday. Sci-fi legend. Love her.
So Thrawn says to the Great Mothers like that he needs their assistance, and they're like, "At your service, my lord." Thrawn says, like, Ahsoka Tano lies hidden with the graveyard. Find her. Uh-oh. This is not good. The Night Sisters are going to use their dark magic to find Ahsoka Tano. So they bring out... So the 3 Great Mothers or Night Sisters, however you want to call them, got around the hologram map and bring out these 3 golden little spheres that spray like a red laser triangle, and they begin to chant some kind of like bizarre language or something like that.
And the reason that this is a triangle, this alludes to the Sith holocron, which is in the shape of a triangle.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Holocron.
And also, they're just essentially triangulating the
Right.
coordinates where Ahsoka's ship was.
Right.
All this as opposed to Thrawn using the ship's sensors to probe the field or whatever.
Yeah, well, that and when he that might be the next episode. When he says, lay blaster fire upon the two, Ezra and Sabine, as they're riding towards the opening.
Yeah,
was
that's the finale. Yeah.
downright ridiculous, but anyway.
Yeah. There's plenty we can poke holes at here. I mean, there's no shortage of faulty logic.
Yeah. So they're like the Night Sisters are like using their black magic here to find Ahsoka Tano, and they're still like hiding out in the graveyard here. That's not a good scene. Yeah, back now. There you go. There you go. So they're still hiding out in the Spacewell graveyard. Excuse me. But Hewing says he cannot find Sabine. Either his scans are being jammed or there's too much debris. And he asks Ahsoka if he should try again. Ahsoka says, no, we don't need a scan. There's another way. So she's going to use the Force to find Sabine. So she's focusing into the Force, trying to find Sabine.
Who's not force sensitive. But this works. Well, I guess
And
she has
somehow Sabine picks up this
right.
I'm like, wait
I
a
have
minute.
so many problems with this.
Wait a minute. She's a Mandalorian. She doesn't have that force sensitive gift. And I think Ezra asks Sabine, like, hey, are you alright? Like, did something happen? What was it? She says, I don't know, a feeling. Really, just a feeling.
Which is a line from Empire Strikes Back that
Yeah.
Leia says. How do you know Luke's down there? How do you know Luke's down there? It's a feeling.
Just a feeling. I mean, come on.
Call
if
back.
you're that close to like telepathically connect with Sabine, you would be that close to find somebody who's stronger in the Force, like Ezra.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Ezra is like, what kind? What do you mean, what kind?
Yeah. Oh, it's just that bad feeling when you have a bad burrito at the all-you-can-eat buffet. Ask Thrawn.
Steve says familiar. So she had a familiar feeling. Also, Ezra, before Sabine gets the feeling, Ezra says, during his time during I forget the planet's name. Does anybody remember?
No.
I know
it's
whatever.
not important enough to remember.
The Cetos planet or what?
This planet.
The planet.
This is Peridia or something like that.
Oh,
okay. Thank you, Positive.
That's cool.
Peridia or something like that.
Peridia.
Oh, somebody who was paying attention. Cool.
Supposedly the birthplace of all the Night Sisters.
Yeah.
I forgot.
As opposed to Paradia.
Yeah.
Just remember
opposed to Dathomir and where all the Dathomir witches lived.
I wrote all my notes down.
That's where they end up at the end, so don't spoil that.
Yeah, spoilers.
I totally forgot to put I have all my notes. I forgot to put that down.
Yeah.
It's Peridia or something.
Thank you, positive Pandora.
Yeah, very cool.
It might as well be Pariah or something.
Yeah.
Sunny made a new friend, such as the crab people or the Noti, Noti. I'm just gonna go with crab people.
Crab people.
Yeah.
Crab people.
That the crab people took him in when he needed help and set up a pod. And the pods are like movable mobile homes, so they constantly move. And and bandits are roaming in the hills as well.
Yeah, so no matter where you go, there's always RVers.
And here we get Sabine gets the feeling like Ahsoka's trying to find her and stuff like that. And Ahsoka says she found her. But the Night Sisters. But when I guess Ahsoka used the Force, the Night Sister found her location.
Right.
So a double-edged sword here. So Thrawn is gonna flush Ahsoka Tano out of her hiding spot. And Captain Enoch, the Gold Place Stormtrooper, should we repair our defenses? And Thrawn's like, no, we're not going to focus on the of the Jedi attention. Saying that Ahsoka Tano is going to pursue Sabine, who we have wisely sent far away from here. Far away? Like, she's still on the planet. What do you mean by that? She's still on the planet. She can't be that far away. It says to contact the fighter group and have them re-gauge the opponent. So things are not looking too good.
Oh, it's okay. I've been rooting for the bad guys almost since episode 1.
So back to the with Ezra and Sabine here. So Baylan and Shin find out Ezra and Sabine here, and Ezra's like, friends of yours? No. And she's like, not happy to see them.
Oh, I see Dad Man Walking in the chat. Hi there.
Hey, Dad Man Walking, how are you? Baylan tells Shin to contact Thrawn and to kill Sabine and Ezra Bridger and take your place in the upcoming Empire. I guess that is with Thrawn, because Emperor Palpatine is disposed of at this point. So not much of an empire left, really, at this point. What do you think, Apion?
Well, they're all on Exegol.
Yeah.
They got a lot of Star Destroyers to make.
Yeah.
With Death Star beams.
Yes. Star Destroyers that can't fly anywhere because they don't have good navigation except for one ship with never mind. That's going to lead down a whole nother rabbit hole, and it's a whole nother part of new Star Wars that I hate.
Yeah, Shin here is saying, she located Ezra Bridger and setting the coordinates. And Baylan right here says, one parting lesson, Shin, No. Actually, said, it was Shin. Said when Baylan said to contact Thrawn and kill Sabine and Ezra, and take place in the Empire. She looks at him saying that he won't help, and he just looks at her saying, your ambition drives you in one direction, my path lies in another. So they're gonna split up, I guess.
Which I don't like at all. Like where their characters fall apart.
Yeah, everybody hammered this part right here.
Yeah, this is so sad.
They had stuck together for so long, but I think they're bound to reunite. And
right,
of
course.
Obviously, well, her and whoever they're going to replace Ray Stevenson with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but yeah, this was dumb as hell. This part pretty much.
It's so against what their characters were about and acted in the other episodes. It's so like, what?
Like the great majority of Shin's, life, all she's ever known was either other Jedi or other Sith and Baylan. Probably the great majority of her life has been with Baylan under his tutelage, under his training, and now all of a sudden he's telling her, "Go your own way. I got something else to do."
He basically abandons her to die.
Yeah, I mean he could have said something really cool like, "I'm seeking something far beyond Jedi and Sith."
Well, the thing is, we don't even see him discover what he's going to discover until the very end.
Right.
In the first place.
Yeah, when he arrives onto the set of Lord of the Rings or something.
Well, he arrives with.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah. He said my path lies in another. And Sincere, she said she located Ezra Bridger, sending coordinates, and he looks at her saying, one parting lesson, Shin, impatience for victory will guarantee defeat. And I guess they head separate ways at this point.
Yeah. Would have been really trippy if she had softened her expression, looked at him longingly, and said something like, "But Dad, really?"
No, doesn't say.
I would have liked
like
that. And we got the confirmation that they're father and daughter.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What do you mean? Like, my path is with you," or something. And it's like, I don't know. I just was super unsatisfied with where they took these two characters.
I know. Here we are, fans, and we're writing better dialogue than what we're getting.
Hey, Wiskego, how are you?
Hey there.
Hello.
So, so Shin and the head bandit take off, to follow, the crab people, Ezra and Sabine, and Baylan stays behind. Where he's gonna go, you don't know. But back to Thrawn and Enoch and Morgan. Enoch says that we received a signal pinpointing Ezra's location. Thrawn says dispatch 2 gunships to assist the mercenaries. And if Lord Baylan proves capable, we may yet win the day. So those two don't really have high hopes with Baylan at this point.
This is one of his biggest bonehead moves as a tactician. You have TIE fighters.
Again, they never say this dialogue. He doesn't instruct Baylan to bring him to wherever, back to them or anything like that. So they're writing dialogue that never happened, basically.
Yeah.
Like you would have the TIE fighters go and do a bombing run and take everybody out that he doesn't want involved. He would no prejudice, just firing runs. You have air superiority. They're Jedis down there with lightsabers.
Pretty much, yeah.
You can just carpet bomb them and the RVers and everybody. Just carpet bomb them.
Carpet bomb.
Pretty much. I mean,
Pretty,
beyond,
like
I mean, what? He only sends what, two?
Yeah,
he sends 2 legions of troopers.
Yeah,
Doesn't even need to waste that.
Yeah,
he could send 6 TIE fighters. They would do the job.
I mean, yeah, I would say send everything we got, blow them up.
Yeah,
no,
this is our only, the only opposition. We get rid of them, it's smooth sailing.
But Admiral Thrawn here doesn't want to waste all his resources, though.
Right.
Again, because they're stranded in another planet in another galaxy.
He throws 2 entire troop carriers full of troopers at them.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a bigger waste than anything.
Just 2 gunships full of
because he doesn't even imbue them with the zombie powers yet, so it's even stupider.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
don't go ahead of me
but I'm just saying he could have used it here. That's why I'm bringing it up, because he had that. He knows that's his ability.
No, we're getting to that. We're getting to the Walking Dead. This sucks.
He's just such a bad military tactician. Like I'm not a military tactician, but even I'm just like, no, that's not what you would do there. No, Dr. Evil, stop it.
Why is this version of Thrawn even relying on magic? He would be like the might of the Empire and my intellect.
So, back to Ezra's beam here. They're trying to get away from the bandits here.
Yeah.
Sabine's power level goes down, so she misses more than when she was on her own on the ground, taking on an entire group by herself.
I think like the mobile homes are look like a shell. How they're going so fast, I don't know.
And the bandits would just attack the one roly-poly that's shooting back at them. All the other ones have like rocks and sticks. You would only focus on the one with the chick with the blaster on it. That's the one you would attack.
Yeah,
you'd think.
Yeah, like Ezra says the crap people. Was it Yuka or something like that? Yuka, and one of the crap people fires a slingshot at the bandits.
Yeah,
I think that was a rebel callback to Ezra's laser slingshot thing, but it was silly.
Yeah, it could be right. Yeah,
he's like Dennis the Menace.
I found it funny.
Look, sir, Ewoks, we're in trouble now. Oh crap, primitives. Whatever will we do with our Imperial armor and blasters and
Sabine's that's charming. Any real weapons? They're peaceful people. Peaceful. She said peaceful. Fine. You didn't mean defenseless. She has a point there.
Yeah, I mean, how do they coexist on this planet with bandits?
Right. Ezra says they were survived long enough. Well, we see they're like crab people, so they can really blend into their environments with the shells on their back.
While their homes get raided and looted and whatnot. They're hiding, but their stuff is being looted by the bandits. But
yeah.
And their tailor-made outfits, though.
So, and it only happened once, but they used both the mobile homes as bumper cars.
It's true.
They're barely driving at walking speed, maybe a fast jog. I don't know, fast pace. Fast walk.
Cool.
They're moving really slow.
We're gonna get bumper cars in this scene.
I mean, if there's anything that makes a Jawa sandcrawler look fast, it's these things.
Trying to squish the bandits unsuccessfully.
Yeah, that's their only offensive maneuver. Is oh, let's run over them.
And the bandit, gets behind the the mobile home, tries to shock the vehicle, but doesn't do it. It doesn't do anything. He does it again. The bandit does it again. So the crab person just throws a rock at the bandit.
Take that, you scoundrel.
It was a funny scene. I have even though like for starters, I thought it was a very funny scene. Bumper cars,
yes. Ramming speed, but we're going as fast as we can. I can walk faster.
Yeah, let's see here. So they're like battling the bandits here. So Sabine and Ezra here. The bandits are closing in on them. And here comes Wing and Ahsoka on the Jedi shuttle. And Ahsoka's like, I gotta get down there. And like, Wing's like, we cannot land while under attack. Standard Jedi protocol.
Also known as common sense.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And Ahsoka's like, no need to land. And he's like, oh, no, not this again. Yes. She says, yes, this again. Once they're on the ground, draw the fighters away. And I think Wing says, like, yes, of course, just remember what happened last time. She said, the time you got wrong. And he's like, and didn't I feel terrible? She said, and it looks like no. Like, and then she says, out of my mark. Wing says, copy, and she says 3, 2, 1, and she jumps out of the moving space shuttle, and somehow does not break any bones. Somehow,
right? She essentially uses the Force to control her fall. It's like, yeah,
right. But she lands right in front of Lord Balin, though. When she did that,
yeah,
convenient.
It was like,
how
how's it going?
How
you
convenient. And like again, he looks so imposing in this scene.
I like the scenes he's in. This duel isn't terrible. I thought it was.
Yeah, any
fine.
scene him and Shen are in are awesome. Everybody else
definitely.
is just awful.
Well,
maybe not awful, but not.
Hu Yang is the best good guy.
Oh, Hu Yang.
There's some certain Hu Yang scenes that I really like. Yeah.
Okay, so we have 3 characters we like. Yeah.
Baneman's like to us like, well, this is a surprise. I didn't expect you to see you again, because last time he saw her, he pretty much threw her off the cliff. And Sug's like disappointed. And he's like, nope. However, I can't allow you to interfere. And it looks like she doesn't have time for this. And Balin says, I know. And they start the fight right here. Like,
I would have liked him to taunt her a bit more. Like, your Padawan like gave me the map like willingly.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything about that.
No,
that would have been cool for him to say, like, when I defeated you, your Padawan gave me the map willingly. I didn't even have to like use the dark side or use the Force on her or anything. I didn't force her. You know what I mean? Like she did it willingly. Don't you find that interesting?
How we got here? Yeah, it's like
that would have been a nice bit of dialogue. Like maybe say it while they're fighting. They do a clash, a couple exchanges. Then he's just like, yeah, so that's Sabine, huh? She's quite the character, very loyal. Yep. And like, what do you mean? And it's like, oh, she gave me the map.
But yeah, it doesn't mention no taunting or anything. Like, just wants to get down to brass tasks here and keep her away from what's going on with the Ezra and Sabine and the bandits, really. So he's really trying to stop her to not rescue them.
But I just love his character too, because he's not really like trying to kill her or anything. Like they both like don't really need to duel each other, but they just do, and it's kind of
right. So let's see.
interesting.
So back to Ezra Sabine here. Sabine, no, Ezra says, "What's the plan?" Here, Sabine says, "Do your thing." He's like, "What thing?" It's your.
One of my favorite things Sabine does in the whole show is try to give him his lightsaber back.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's like, "Keep it." And she's like, "What? I don't." And he says he doesn't need it. Besides, you've been training. And she's like,
until next episode when he makes.
She's like, very funny. And he's like, "No, I'm serious." She's like, "Take it." And he says, "I gave it to you. It's yours now." And she's like, "At least take the blasters." Like, why are you not taking the lightsaber? Come on now.
Yeah, come on.
She has dual blasters and a flamethrower. She has all kinds of other gear. You have your hands.
Yeah,
except for conveniently, she doesn't have her helmet. She needs her helmet.
She needs her helmet, and Ezra says he's got no, when she said Sabine says like at least take the blaster. He says no, the Force is my ally. That's all I need. And Sabine says I need more than that. I'm like, yeah, I mean, a bit like half and half here with Ezra here. Yes, the Force is your ally, but also you need a lightsaber to defend yourself. The Force
seriously, a trained Jedi with a lightsaber. This would have been a short fight.
This is almost like a lover's quarrel.
Yep.
But with no chemistry.
But they have no chemistry.
I agree, though. Yeah.
Yeah, but they have no chemistry. But still, that's basically either a sibling quarrel or a lover's quarrel.
That's the biggest problem I have is like their reunion was like super lackluster.
Not much of a reunion.
And I don't believe that they've been friends for a long time. Like there's no believability in like I truly believe like they just met each other the day before the shoot or something like, and it feels that way, like two strangers pretending to be friends, and it's like you had an opportunity there for some like show your acting skills, like you know what I mean, like you don't have to actually know this person your whole life, but a good actor can portray that emotion, you know what I mean? And Ezra's not a bad actor.
They don't even have the platonic level of friendship that two people of opposite genders would have. There's nothing there. It's like, oh, hi, random person. How are you doing today?
Like people talk shit on Force Awakens, but that hug between Leia and Rey has so much more emotion and stuff than this. Then you know what I mean? Two friends that had all this history together. That doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be that way. But
right. Well, like I'm like half and half. Like I said, I'm half with Ezra. I mean, yes, the Force is your ally, but it's not gonna really help you with everything defense-wise. That's what the lightsaber is for.
Yes, like literally, it's a defensive weapon. Like I think they say that in one of the movies, where it's like a lightsaber may be a laser sword, but we're not like going around chopping people up like for the fun of it. Like we use it to block attackers and have something to defend ourselves when the Force isn't. We don't want to abuse the Force.
Or
it's frustrating.
There's also that scene where Qui-Gon Jinn gets on to Obi-Wan about misplacing his lightsaber or something, or was it Obi-Wan getting on to Anakin about misplacing his lightsaber?
Yeah, because he goes through a few of them. 101 gets destroyed in the droid factory on Attack of the Clones. He drops one on Coruscant, but thankfully Obi-Wan was there.
That's right. It was Obi-Wan.
That shit would have been gone.
Yeah.
A Jedi's weapon is like part of
Sabine, is going with blasters, and Ezra's just using the Force to defend himself. Okay.
When stormtroopers show up, he'll use a blaster though.
So, if I can get right here, So Baylan and Ahsoka are fighting. We didn't really see much of this fight, though. Quite sadly.
Yeah.
I would like to see more of it, really, to be honest.
Could have used some trash talking from Baylan to Ahsoka. It's like, I beat you last time. I'll just beat you again.
Yeah, some stuff about that, some stuff about Sabine, like
egg
her on, get her mad. But I guess that's it's not his character, but it would just be more fun, I guess, if he did.
Yeah.
Kind of like Count Dooku was talking shit in Attack of the Clones, like, Obi-Wan, or you
Even if he
me.
just like flatly looked at Ahsoka and said, "You know, you can't beat me."
Mm-hmm. Now you want to get embarrassed? You want to get embarrassed again? There's no pool of water to save you this time,
right?
That would, like something like that, you know.
So like so Shin comes up behind Ezra. He senses her, ducks at the last second, and Shin swings for storms, but misses Ezra and sends off a few hairs. And I think he says to her, "Close." Sabine comes in to the rescue. And Ezra says to Shin, "Not looking good for you." And at the time, I was like thinking, like, yeah, it won't be looking good for you if you're the one wielding the lightsaber and not Sabine.
Jedi's always fight unfairly. It's always 2-on-1.
That was I
like,
thought, like, you know, that was what I thought. Like, it's like, with Sabine and Shin is more really like a draw with me at this point, because Shin has more experience with the Force. Sabine does not.
Yeah. It should be no
Ezra,
real contest.
No. It makes more sense to me that Ezra should have the lightsaber and able to beat Shin than.
Yep.
That's why episode 4, their duel was amazing.
Battling Shin here. That's just in my opinion, really.
Yeah. Yeah, Ezra like holds the lightsaber back with the Force, which was kind of cool, you know. It's like he's not using it to hurt her; he's just using it to stop her, which is kind of the way it's supposed to be from a Jedi.
Like the scene, so Ahsoka has her lightsaber against Balin, but does not want to kill him.
Right, but also Balin has his hand on her wrist, so he has complete control of her hand holding the lightsaber, and he's blocking the other lightsaber. So, at no point is Balin in any real danger.
Mm-hmm.
The expression on his face is not that of, "Oh crap, I almost had my head cut off." It's like, you're like, his expression is like, "You're not even making me break a sweat."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's like I've got this under control.
Like I'm at a different level, sort of speak right here. And you see the Jedi shuttle coming in, right, with Huang on the ship. And, you know, Huang, you know, fires upon them, but misses.
Well, he uses countermeasures like flares.
Countermeasures,
yeah. Flares, those devastating flares, as opposed to, oh, I don't know, whatever munitions they would have on a ship, like missiles or blasters or what have you. No, he shoots flares.
Yeah, and Ahsoka takes this opportunity to go ahead and leaves Balin.
She steals his ride.
You know, behind, I guess.
Yeah, a strategic withdrawal. In other words, run away, run away.
Oh well.
It would have been funny if he said the Jurassic Park line right here. If he's like, "Clever girl," that would have been great. That would have been great. You can't call her a girl, you know. I can't demean her.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's just like, well, that was a good fight. I'm just gonna move on now. He doesn't even attempt to go after her. So I'm like, okay.
No, he doesn't care. It's like he's more interested in what
what's out there.
Yeah,
So
what he's looking
supposedly
for.
out there, this mysterious
force that scares even the Dathomir witches or what have you.
And he can sense it.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, I'm really intrigued to know.
Oh, plenty of videos out there as far as speculation goes, but again, it's like it is whatever Disney Star Wars wants to give us.
Right. So the crab person checks on Ezra, and he says, "No, I'm fine. Just stay in there. I shut the door."
Yeah.
Then the two gunships with the stormtroopers arrive, and Thrawn
They
said,
never use their guns.
Right.
They're called gunships too. They don't even shoot them.
It's like we have guns that can hit people at a distance. Let's run up on them.
Yeah, like you can literally just hover out of range from them to do anything back and just unleash fire.
Yeah, and just go pew pew pew. We got you. Pew pew pew. We got you.
And the show would be over. So you can't do
that. Thrawn says deploy teams 1 and 2 use counter encirclement tandem. Morgan says we have them. Thrawn says our side is short one mercenary. Where's Balin's skull? So Balin's skull has disappeared.
Why does he care? I thought it didn't matter. He said that in an earlier episode.
Yeah, he said earlier on, like if they got left behind, it doesn't affect us. It's like, oh, this writing, this inconsistent writing.
They just make him the most incompetent bad guy like ever. I'm going to leave them in an easily escapable situation and assume it all went according to plan. What?
So
why are you looking at me like that?
We go back to Steam and Ezra here with Shin. They're still battling out.
Oh, she's such a badass character, man. And I wanted to see more of
and
Sabine,
Ezra says
Shin.
Right here, said, wait. We could talk, or we just don't. You want to take us prisoners?
That made me lose my shit when I watched it.
And like, wait a minute, like that is not a very Ezra of this character.
They're completely surrounded by stormtroopers, and they don't shoot them. They just wait.
And Shin's says, fire. Ahsoka comes to the rescue at the last possible second. And it cuts to Huang at the Jedi shuttle saying, well, they're all back together. I hope I survive long enough to see the outcome.
Look to my coming, dawn on the third day. He rides in.
Yes, so they're battling out with the stormtroopers.
This is when Ezra picks up the blaster and starts headshotting people.
Yeah.
He didn't want to kill those nomads, but stormtroopers bad. They can go. He switches to instant kill mode like Spider-Man.
Thrawn's like, this is like a rare sight, almost like the Jedi of old. And tells to recall the gunships, call off the aerial pursuit. That these are unfortunate but acceptable losses given the absence of Lord Balin. In the grand schemes of things, one might even call this first match with Ahsoka Tano a success. So he's like also doing a strategic retreat as well at this point.
His logic is literally insanity. Like trying to say that you won somehow. And I love Morgan's just like, how? What? All I see is our enemies are reunited now. You let them get back together, which is what even the people that are like talking about this show have said. Like, why are you still thinking you won? You let Ezra and Sabine reunite, and now Ahsoka's with them too. This is bad news.
Hello, Saber the Tiger. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, no, we haven't come to the space zombies yet. That was pretty bad.
No, we didn't. We get that in a bit. Morgan says, like, right here, like, only sees our enemies reuniting. And Fawn's like, let me show you what I see. With our enemy distracted, the cargo transfer is also almost complete, which means we shall soon leave this forsaken place. Ahsoka Tano has lost the one thing she could not afford to lose today. Time. Time is very much on our side now. I shall keep it that way. What's in the cargoes, though? Oh, no. Well, I like to know that.
Probably Night
leads
Sisters
to
or something they're going to resurrect or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking Night Sisters as well. Maybe cryo sleep, suspended animation. We don't know. They're not giving us any clues on that.
Yeah, because they got them from the catacombs on this planet, which is the Night Sister planet. That's
but yeah, since they end up on Dathomir in the next episode, then that's the point of all these caskets, basically, is another dead army per se.
Yeah, and since Thrawn mentioned wasting time, just how long does it take to load 4 dozen, 50, 60 of those caskets? I mean, come on, pick up the pace, get your act together, get your ship off planet, and you wouldn't even have to worry about going through all this they went through this episode. But it's like, no, let's drag it out as long as we can and waste our time.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So back to Ahsoka, Ezra, and Sabine. So the stormtroopers have pulled out. Shin's like, what's going on here? She's by herself, surrounded with these three. Ahsoka is like, tells Shin, surrender your weapon. I can help you. Shin looks at her and just immediately looks out of there.
Yeah.
Sabine to Ahsoka says, I thought you were dead. Ahsoka looks at Ezra and missed this reunion. Ezra looks at Sabine saying, wait, you thought she was dead? Sabine says, clearly I was wrong. Then the crab people come out of their hiding places. Ezra says, it's okay. They're my friends. And Ezra says right at the end here, guys, I'm getting a feeling I think I'll be going home after all. It does seem so far. And possibly, I guess. Yeah, that's the
Yay.
That's the end of the episode, really. That's episode 7, Dreams and Madness.
One of the worst episodes for me.
Woohoo.
Really dislike that one, to be honest. But yeah, that's my opinion.
Let's see. Ready? I'm gonna see. Get the other episode set up here.
The finale.
Finale.
Where it all comes to an end.
All your questions.
Yay.
Not really answered, but watch the next product.
Just give me skip the intro. There you go. We can start there. Okay. And let's just get. Okay, dokie. Episode 8. The Jedi, the Rich, and the Warlord. Why does it sound like the
Because it is. It's a risk.
Yeah, because it is. It's yet one more thing that they've stolen from another franchise.
It's the Lion, the Witch, and the
Wardrobe. Yes.
Right,
Like, what does it sound like that?
Like, there's no originality here. We're going to copy as much as we can from any other show, movie, or franchise that we can get away with.
Pretty much. So we're at the Star Destroyer and the top of the tower. Morgan informs Admiral Thrawn that the cartridge transfer is complete. What is the cartridge transfer, though? We don't know. I would like
we'll
to
never
know.
find out.
Open to speculation.
Yeah. Maybe, like, it's full of I don't know, bombs or, like, other stormtroopers that are, like, in a really deep sleep kind of stasis. I don't know.
I'm thinking more Dathomir witches that are, for some reason, in stasis. I mean, that's the one thing that makes the most sense to me. I mean, if I wanted to prepare some Night Sisters for a long sleep or a long ride out of that galaxy, I'd put them in stasis and have them, like, sleeping so they don't grow old or whatever. I mean, who knows how long they've been on that planet? Generations? We don't know. We have nothing to go on here.
Resurrect them with some sort of magic.
Right.
Like the 3 Night Sisters, but who knows?
Yeah. So Thrawn says, good, very good. Thrawn says to Enoch, the golden-plated soldier here, to bring the Eye of Sion out of high orbit so we may begin the interlocking procedure. I don't really know what the Eye of Sion is, though.
It's the ring.
Know?
It's the ring.
It's the ring. Oh, the hyperspace
ring.
Used, okay.
Yeah, that big ring that they had earlier.
Okay, I didn't really catch the name. Yeah. I mean, did they say the name? The name of the hyperspace ring when they first revealed it in the episode?
If they did, it was very brief.
I don't really remember.
I don't remember either. I think it was something Sion. I caught very briefly, but then my memory could be fuzzy on that. Also, I just don't really care enough to pay attention.
Fair enough. Enoch says the comm scan believes that the FX on the Jedi settled location. Thrawn says dispatch the 2 TIE fighters. So they had TIE fighters on the board of the Star Destroyer.
You can see 8 right there. I was counting them, and they don't.
Oh, you have 8? Oh, yeah, right here. Thank you.
Yeah, there's 2 rows of 4.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
If they find their mark, tell them to engage. Morgan says there's little that the Jedi can do to stop them. And Thrawn says, I have watched many Imperial officers make the same assumptions about the rebellion. Even I fell victim to the heroes of a single Jedi. Never again. Great mothers, our alliance have proven to be quite beneficial. So he's like, I guess he has reflected from his experience from Ezra here.
He's not wrong. He loses to 3 this time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Definitely speaking from experience here.
I do like the shot when the 2 TIE fighters fly past him and he doesn't really react. I thought that was cool and kind of one of his better moments that looked kind of badass, where they have that shot where he calls the 2 TIE fighters to go and he stands there and then you see them both like shoot from behind him. I thought that was a pretty cool shot, like one of the better shots in the episode. But
indeed,
there's a positive for you.
Mm-hmm. So the Great Mothers / Night Sisters say that they're grateful to the Grand Admiral and Morgan, who has heard their dreams across the stars, and says to Morgan to come forward. You shall be rewarded the gift of a shadow and if she's prepared. The gift of the shadows, like, dark magic, I guess.
Yeah, they're going to I don't know, essentially transfer I guess Dathomirian magic or special abilities to her, since she's not a native Night Sister.
Yeah, they make her Super Morgan.
Yeah.
More super than I guess than she was. And they give her a flaming sword.
Hey, Word 789. We'll get to that in a bit. It's like at the end of the episode. We'll get there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I did hear that the main Night Sister did fight Mace Windu in the Clone Wars with that sword, so it's like a callback to that.
Oh, okay.
Cool, but I didn't know that watching. I had to be told that from someone that watched it. But yeah.
So Morgan says yes, she's ready. The Great Mother says, "Did you pledge yourself to the sisterhood, to the Magix, to the old ways?" So Morgan says she does. The Great Mother says, "Do you bend in your old life for this new one?" She says, "I do. Your loyalty, your life." Morgan says she does. And the head Night Sister, I guess burns tattoos on Morgan's face and her eyes become black just like theirs.
Yeah.
And all three of the Night Sisters summoned a blade that's called the Blade of Talzin. I'm not really familiar with the blade.
No, not either.
Like
it's
I said,
like,
it was
like,
in Clone Wars. She fought Mace Windu with it.
Yeah, obviously Mother Talzin is in the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason they call it that, pretty much.
Call back to the other shows that you
I see.
I don't know why Ron is watching all of this. It's like, oh, I've got better stuff to do than watch a bunch of space witches do magic and mojo and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's a good question. Should he be like preparing to leave the planet?
right. After he went on about, we can finally leave this planet and get in a high orbit and get out of here. It's like, oh, that's good. Why are you like witnessing all this? It's like, what's the point?
I want him to put his pinky at his mouth so badly. So badly. Just have him do it once. Look what you did to Mr. Bigglesworth. The freezing process didn't work on felines.
Morgan takes the Blade of Talzin, and she bows to the three Night Sisters, and the two TIE fighters were deployed. On the Jedi shuttle, Ezra was looking for something with Hugh Wang. Ezra, as we know, is a bit of a techie kind of guy.
Right. And he was having trouble finding parts to construct a lightsaber or something, and he needed help from Huang. Even though he's also quite mechanically proficient and is very creative, it's like he needs help. This scene was another toss away scene. It's like no real point to this aside from building a lightsaber dialogue.
Ezra's like, that's going to work, and Huang's like, that's not going to work. What are you talking about? Some kind of emitter was too narrow. Like Huang's like, look here, I've been teaching younglings how to construct lightsabers longer you've been alive. As just like, yeah, that's great, but I don't have time for lessons right now. Ahsoka wants us to go after Thrawn as soon as we're ready. Huang's like, there's something there. This is not something you can rush haphazardly. Stop that. Everything here is organized. And Ezra's just making a mess, I guess, looking for stuff. Yeah, disorganized. Huang says, I have a system. Ezra says, so do I. Wayne says, you, sir, have a method, not a system, or anything resembling a process. Who taught you to build a lightsaber anyway? Sabine comes in and says, Kanan Jarrus. And Wayne says, that's so. Ezra says, he was my master. Wayne says, I taught him how to build a lightsaber. So so Wayne taught Kanan how to build a lightsaber. I forget the name of Kanan's master's name.
Yeah, I forget as well.
I know
was it
it's
Shock T? It was
I
the
think
Was it
you're
other
right.
T? Or
it was
was
the
it
other race character that's like Ahsoka, right? Like it was the other.
No,
Yeah, I think it was
it's
Shock
not.
T.
Yeah, I think you're. I think you're.
could be?
No, no, and it's not. No, it's not Shop T. It was. Hold on a second here.
Somebody similar.
Because we see her in Star Wars Rebels, remember? Apion, and we thought she was alive, but she was actually dead. Yes, Luminara. I think her name was Luminara.
Oh, okay. Isaac and friends in the chat is saying Kanan's master was human. Okay.
Oh.
Kanan's master was human? Okay. Hold on. I need to look this up. Star Wars Kanan's master. Who was Kanan's master?
Says Depa Balaba.
Yeah.
Aha.
Depa Balaba.
Aha.
Ah, okay. That's cool, I guess.
Oh. Her. Okay, that's who she is. All right, that's it. Her master. His master. Okay. Makes more sense now.
Yeah, I think she had some kind of hood on her head, right? Or something like that.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh, and Isaac is saying we get a retcon for Canon in Bad Batch. Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I can see them changing canon for Bad Batch, trying to make it fit.
Yeah. So okay, that's Kanan's master. So Hermione says, of course it all makes sense. Ezra's like, how could you know him, Sabine? Hermione says, I told you, I taught almost every youngling at the Jedi Temple, including your master. Clever boy Caleb was very curious, a little shy, perhaps. Who can blame him? Those were troubling times. I guess during the Clone Wars, I guess. And
his master died in Order 66. I do remember that. Kanan's master. So, and he witnessed it. I'm pretty sure. Like he saw.
I think he did mention that in Star Wars Rebels. Yes.
Yeah.
Or implied it actually. Ezra turns to Huang's like, how old are you? And Huang says, old enough to know that the relationship between a master and apprentice is as challenging as it is meaningful. And it cuts it to being deeply reflecting. Ezra finds the part he needs. Huang says he had 2 of those. Kanan took the one, the other he held on to just in case he ever needed it, which sadly he never did. And it says Ezra is proper, he would have it. And Ezra thanks Huang. But to me, why does Ezra in this scene have to build the lightsaber? Shouldn't Sabine give him his
well, that's Sabine's now.
Again, that would make sense, but
I know.
It's a good thing they had a kyber crystal there.
Right.
That's a good point, Apion.
A spare spare kyber crystal for a new lightsaber he's constructing, as opposed to just taking back his old one, because Jedis are supposed to construct their own lightsaber.
Right. Like, I agree with you. Why is Ezra building a lightsaber? Should Sabine give back his lightsaber and build her own? I mean,
Yep.
she is a supposed Jedi in training. So she'd be the one building a lightsaber, not Ezra.
Yeah, but
Oh,
technically
yeah, and
Luke never built his own, so I mean, well, actually, yeah, he
Well,
did.
yeah, he did, because
Yeah,
he
Darth Vader
eventually
did
did, yeah.
say Darth Vader was looking at his.
That's right. You
Luke's,
constructed a new lightsaber.
That's right. Yep.
Impressive. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. My bad.
Yeah, Hu Wang is over 25,000 years old, all the way back to the original order. You're correct, Isaac.
And
He
with
has seen some shit.
75%, yeah, with 75% of his original parts, that's actually pretty impressive. As he bragged about one episode.
Yeah. And Ezra, asks Sabine, did Ahsoka ever teach you how to looks at her direction? She's gone. Each of Hu Wing, what happened between those two? What did I miss? And Hu Wing says that Ahsoka became afraid that Sabine was training as a Jedi for the wrong reasons after what happened on Mandalore.
Revenge.
No.
And Ezra asks, which was, Hu Wing says, at the end of the war, the Empire purged the entire surface of the planet, killing hundreds of thousands. Ezra says, her family? All lost, sadly, says Hu Wing. At the time, Ahsoka felt that Sabine Sabine could unlock her potential, but she could become dangerous. So her Mandalore family was totally vaporized by the Empire.
Yeah, her mom and her dad, I guess, from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But again, since she's not force sensitive to begin with, she would have just doubled down on her Mandalorian training to seek revenge.
Mm-hmm.
To fight the Jedi as Mandalorians do. But hey, let's throw all that aside and just go on with whatever the show's trying to go on with.
Right. And Sabine exits the shuttle, and Ahsoka's I guess meditating at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And this looks
urgency.
Ahsoka's
Yeah.
must be pleased, and Sabine's she's more of a relief than anything else or everything else, really. And Ahsoka says, to Sabine, your gamble paid off.
Oh.
Sabine says, so you know. Ahsoka says, I do.
Worst dialogue in the whole show. Literally just wipe away the big mistake she made, and it was, you were right, not a problem.
Yeah, it's harken back to that episode where Ahsoka and Sabine were saying, oh, well, if this happened, we can do this, and if that happened, we can. Oh, wait, that never happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a big mistake, something Sabine never should have done, but she let her emotions run their course.
Right. She said she thought she might not see him again. And Ahsoka says, we might not have, but you chosen differently. And Sabine apologizes. Ahsoka says she knows. Sabine asks she's not mad. And Ahsoka says, over the years, I made my share of difficult choices. Often no one understood my reasons except my master, Anakin Skywalker. And Sabine says, Anakin. So has Ahsoka been telling about her master to her? I'm assuming so, because she is an apprentice, so I guess so.
Wouldn't he
like,
be
I was
known
supposed to-
throughout the galaxy?
Yeah, he would. I
I
mean,
guess.
during the Clone Wars, Anakin, Obi-Wan, they all would have been fairly well known.
Yeah, I mean they traveled to multiple different worlds and fought on the behalf of the people, and
yeah, they're pretty well in the thick of things. Yeah, they're not like background characters, so yeah, it's at this
Definitely.
show.
But yeah, what Sabine did was right. We were wrong to think she'd have to face any sort of like, any type of, consequences or repercussions for what she did. Nope, she was right all along. She's in the
Much
clear.
like Hera,
Go for
no
it.
consequences for her actions.
It's
Yeah.
just such a bummer. I really wanted to like the show more, and I wanted to like Sabine as a character, but oof.
So
It's hard.
So Ahsoka said that her master always stood by her, even though when no one else did, and that's why no matter what happens next, she's gonna be there for Sabine. And Ahsoka asked if she kept with her training. Sabine says she tries to, or says she does. It says she has gained better control over her lightsaber. And Ahsoka tells her a secret, saying, being a Jedi is not about wielding a lightsaber. I guess to a point, I guess. Sabine says it helps, especially in our situation. Ahsoka tells her to train her mind, her body, and trust in the Force. Ezra comes in saying, hey, let's go, just finished, and then you see the 2 TIE fighters coming in. I guess to finish the job. Really?
Why do they have to fly so close with their attack run? Don't know.
I don't know.
They could shoot from like miles away, and the laser blast would hit.
So they're under attack by the 2 TIE fighters.
And the TIE fighters don't hit anything important.
Actually,
and the main characters are standing on the roof. Ah!
Yeah, they're standing on the roof.
It's like, here we are. Shoot
the
us.
TIE fighters
Shoot us. We're right
at
here.
the shuttle. I believe Wing says they lost the stabilizers at this point. And they're trying
him and the snails, they'll fix that in a jiffy. Not a worry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So since they lost the stabilizers, Ezra and Ahsoka were trying to keep the space shuttle up with the Force.
Right.
And trying to get power to the engines, really. And I think Sabine did something on the ship, and Wing says we're only going to get a short burst out of the engines.
Oh, that's right. I remember this bit now.
Yeah.
Oh.
And on Sabine's signal, they did a short burst and took out the 2 TIE fighters right here.
Right. As opposed to the TIE fighter pilots going, oh crap, there's something in my way. I might want to steer out of its way and maneuver quickly. It's like, no, we gotta ram into them like we did with the RVs.
They're almost as bad as the pilots in the 3rd episode that flew so close to let Ahsoka chop their wings off.
Right.
So, so they're like, as Ezra states, they're on a bit of a they're a bit damaged, especially with the Jedi starship.
Yeah, it's like, how you guys going to get home?
Yeah, so it's going to slow them. So damage on the starship. The crab mobile homes are also being repaired, so they're So Ezra's right here. That this is gonna slow them down a bit, and Ahsoka's like, only if we let it. That's nice, but
wishful thinking.
You have a lot to repair though. It's gonna take some time to repair that stuff.
This episode, this series.
Well, hey! At the end, we'll talk about it.
Oh boy.
Patience.
Oh, I'm patient. I just I'm like having bad flashbacks here because I watched this 2 weeks ago. I had honestly forgotten all about it.
Have a good night, Isaac. Thanks for coming.
Later.
So, Enoch is informing Admiral Thrawn that the TIE fighters have made contact with the enemy and engage. Admiral Thrawn's asking for the results. Enoch says that it was a successful strike on the Jedi shuttle.
Sure, let's go with that. Yep. So you slowed them down some more. That's the main goal. Not to kill your enemy, not to defeat them. Slow them down a bit.
Before we lost contact with the fighter group, which means...
we've redefined the word successful.
Yeah. And Thrawn's acceptable outcome. Consider all the TIE fighters lost. Wait, don't he have backups?
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
There was 2 rows before, so he's got 6 more.
Mark their captain for a citation. A citation? Okay.
This dialogue is stupid. This writing is stupid.
I think he means a citation like the police give you.
Yeah, commendation, good job training.
Yeah, he didn't say commendation. He said citation. Yeah. So that guy, yeah.
2 pilots that never killed any of the good guys. They disabled their ship slightly. Great job. Employee of the month.
Yep.
Seriously? These are the requirements for employee of the month? Wow, what an easy job. Who cooked this slightly average steak? It's amazing. You're the best chef ever. What? What the fuck? What is happening?
All right, I had to look it up. I was curious. A complement of TIE fighters and a Imperial Star Destroyer. 72.
What? He has 72.
Yeah.
I guess at one point he had 72, but no longer.
Did he lose a bunch? I mean, even if you had a few out flying maneuvers toward the end of what was it, Rebels, you wouldn't have pushed all your TIE fighters out.
Yeah, we know he has 6 more because they showed the bay with 8.
Well, he said consider all the TIE fighters lost, so I guess they lost their usefulness to him at this point.
72 TIE fighters, 48 TIE superiority starfighters, 12 TIE bombers, and 12 TIE interceptors.
If he had 1 TIE bomber, this series would have been over so
quick.
Just 1 TIE bomber. Oh, there's a mobile home caravan. Doop doop doop. End of series.
End of series. Yep.
I don't care how good you are with the Force, Jedi. You're not stopping bombs dropping from the air.
So Admiral Thrawn says it's an acceptable outcome. Consider all TIE fighters lost.
I love his positivity.
And mark their captain for a citation. And Enoch says, as you wish, Grand Admiral. And Thrawn asks to show him the reported location of the attack. The hologram map appears. Let's see if I can get a shot of it. No, I can't. Okay. Thrawn says, assuming the Jedi ship is down, their options to prevent our departure are now severely limited. No duh at this point. If not possible. And not if impossible. I'm sorry, impossible. Which is why we all shall prepare for a ground assault immediately. So they're going with a ground assault at this time, I guess. Okay.
Worried about those resources, but yep.
Crew complement 37,000.
So, Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra ride on 2 howlers. The howlers are like rat dogs at this point. It look like rat dogs.
Yeah.
And
rat dog horsies.
Hui and the crab people, or the Noti, are fixing the Jedi shuttle. And Hui says here, "Maybe Force be with you." And that, okay, I can dig that.
They totally stole this from Aliens, by the way.
I
when Bishop's is repairing the dropship, and then Ripley goes back to save Newt, and then he literally, and it's exactly the same too, where like the ship flies up from the bottom, like, and
yeah,
and it's a droid, and he's an android, so there's a lot of comparisons to that. Anyway, there's a lot of rip going on here.
Yeah, they rip a lot of.
It would have been cool to see Enoch do anything than just have a couple dialogue lines, like maybe show him fight or, something.
Enoch
he's
very
Captain
much
Phasma.
I was just about to say he's very much like Captain Phasma, with a lot of buildup but no payoff.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, Captain Phasma from the prequel
or the sequel series, fights Finn and stuff. Calls him a dirty rebel or whatever, and then gets slapped in the face by a shock stick.
I have to look into that.
It's played by Gwendolyn Christie, who played Brienne of Tarth on Game of Thrones. And she had quite a number of interviews talking about her role in the Disney Star Wars movies. I thought, listening to her talk about it, I thought, that's going to be pretty cool. Her character should be awesome. No, her character wasn't awesome. Sadly.
But she got to fight Finn, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into it. So back on the Star Destroyer, Morgan tells the rest of the stormtroopers that the blessing of the Great Mothers shall protect them in the battle against the Jedi. Go now, let none pass. And Thrawn asks, "Are those other volunteers?" Morgan says yes. And Thrawn asks, "Have they made aware?" Morgan says yes, they were. "All honored to make a sacrifice for you." Thrawn says here it's for the Empire, the security of the planet, or the galaxy, sorry. So he doesn't really see himself as the Emperor, I guess.
He's trying to fulfill the Emperor's goal to rule the galaxy as.
But does he know the Emperor's no more? That's the thing.
But is he no more though? See, that's the thing. He's actually somehow he survived. He's out there making Snoke jars.
Yeah,
which is you find that out later when you watch those great.
And he's putting frickin' lasers on Starbucks.
Yeah, I want frickin' sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads. Oh, you don't have any sharks? What do we have?
Space sharks. Space sharks.
Yeah. Are they
lasers?
Space sharks.
Will someone throw me a frickin' bone here? Honestly, I've been frozen for 30 frickin' years. But in his case, it'd be 10 frickin' years.
All right.
I need the info. I'm the boss.
So back to Sabine and Ezra and Ahsoka here. They're heading towards where the Star Destroyer is. And Sabine says it looks like they're just in time. And they're taking the Star Destroyer with them because the Star Destroyer is between the hyperspace ring at this point.
Why wouldn't he set that up while they're loading the pods? Why did he wait until
because it would make
loaded?
too much sense. It would make too much sense to have the hyperspace ring come from
what was
high
it doing in
orbit.
space? It was doing nothing. It's just out there wasting time.
Plenty of room. It could have like come down, docked on the Star Destroyer, even while they were like hovering over that castle.
Yeah, that would have been like the first thing you do, and then finish the pod loading.
Yeah, like get us ready to get out of here. Like, don't waste time.
Yeah. So Ahsoka beeps in Hu-Wing asking how's it going. Hu-Wing and the crab people are like trying to fix the space shuttle. And Hu-Wing saying he's doing the best he can. However, he cannot promise anything. Ahsoka said, you kept her in the sky longer than I've been alive. So wait, how old is the space shuttle? Very old at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. And Hu-Wing tells Ahsoka not wait for him. Ahsoka turns to Ezra, saying, "Oh wait, Ezra, any ideas we're up against?" Ezra says, that Thrawn found this place, I guess the tower where the Night Sisters were, or Great Mothers. He woke up the witches, rebuilt his starship, and it wasn't safe to be here alone, so I guess that's where he found the crab people. And Ahsoka quotes that you're not alone anymore. Let's try the front door. Of course, try the front door with all, good strategy. Just like go right in.
Well, Thrawn in his infinite wisdom left the door open.
Right.
He's really smart.
Let's see if I can get that shot. There we go. So
there we go.
Visually, there's some decent shots. Like I do like a lot of the visuals, but when you like really process the dialogue and the story being told,
yeah,
it's hard not to like nitpick it.
This does give a really good sense of scale because there I was trying to imagine just how big was this hyperspace ring, because I didn't think it was that big, but here they are having it made up to the Star Destroyer, and that thing is huge.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
wonder
a
how
cool
long
concept. It's a good idea having
Yeah.
ring launch a Star Destroyer. That's cool. I like that. But just the process and what happens with that could have been handled a little bit better.
They should have been doing this like 2 episodes back, because it's supersized technology. You're trying to make up new systems with old systems. You're not going to have it work right the first time around, but apparently it will. It's like, oh, we hooked it all up. Everything works right the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, for those of us out there who have ever built a computer from scratch, it's like, does your computer boot up first time right off? Nope, not always.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Star Destroyer is like somewhat in the middle of the hyperspace ring. And look like how it looks very deserted in this planet. Very, very dreary to say of a planet.
Yeah, not a place for a summer home.
No. All right, back to Enoch, Thrawn, and Morgan here. I really love the golden droids right here.
Mm-hmm. And the shot composition is good. He's standing in the middle. He's got his like right hand man, his left hand woman.
Yep.
It looks good. Like visually, it looks good. But yeah, then they start talking. So
the golden droid right here says the scan is tracking 2 targets coming from the north. Thrawn says, "Good, rain hellfire upon them." Like, oh, so they're gonna go guns a-blazing, huh? That there'll be no negotiation with the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker. So no negotiation with Ahsoka Tano. Okay, so we're getting really nitty gritty here.
Have fun storming the castle.
Yes.
Do they have any hope?
exactly.
Do they have any hope? Not a hope at all. All right, see ya.
And our three
Mostly dead.
heroes head off towards to the enemy. These three here, and I think the Star Destroyer I think their turbo lasers activated and fire upon our heroes. Let's see if yep.
And nobody hit them. Nobody was able to hit them.
Yeah, Ahsoka is like
that good at
Ezra,
dodging
the
these
gate. So Ezra is there. Ahsoka and Ezra are using the Force to open the gate, and Ahsoka screams to Sabine to help out, and she's
cringe.
Like 2 seasoned Jedis, freaking super powerful. Like, nope, we're not enough. We need the person that has no force powers.
No,
only
it's coming.
With your help
it's
will the
coming.
3 of us be able to do it.
It's coming. The scene I said from the very start that if they did, I would be done with this show.
We'll get to that.
We're getting to it. Oh,
yeah.
I know. It's coming. Yes.
So Sabine helps out, but I don't really think it's doing anything to help out.
Because she's not force sensitive.
So
she couldn't move a cup in one episode.
Ahsoka and Ezra opened the gate, and they barely made it through the gate before it closes. So they're in the tower.
Man, if only Qui-Gon would have done this in Phantom Menace instead of like burning his lightsaber into that door, he could have just gotten to Newt Gunray and the other guy way quicker.
Thrawn
just force pull it open.
Says to dispatch the night troopers. I'll inform the Great Mothers that it's time. Time for what? We'll see.
Oh boy.
So
this is one of my favorite. This is probably my favorite part in the episode. I enjoyed this part.
Mine too.
This fight scene was kind of fun to watch.
Ahsoka, Ezra, and Sabine meet the stormtroopers. Ahsoka tells them to fall back, draw them out, and tells Sabine to use her blasters and then the lightsaber. Like, okay. And then in the middle of all of this, the Great Mothers were chanting some kind of language I couldn't even fucking repeat at this point.
Dathomirian magic or incantations, like,
yeah,
oh, we're going to do something bad, and
they were reading from the Necronomicon.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even
Evil Dead reference.
I couldn't even attempt the words that they chanted in this scene right here. So I'm just gonna
boil in trouble.
But I really like one of the coolest things in the fight scene is when Ezra force pulls the 2 stormtroopers and then Ahsoka like stabs them. I thought that was a cool use of like teamwork and like Jedi, 2 different, a Jedi power with lightsabers. I thought that was very like a video game. It was cool. I like
you guys liked that fight scene. I thought it was just hilariously bad because the choreography seemed to have gotten worse, and I could have sworn there was a point that all Ahsoka was doing was just swinging her arms in giant circles. It's like not really doing anything coordinated, like blocking blaster bolts. She's just waving her arms in giant circles, making the lightsabers go in giant circles, like swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. I don't know. It was just awful.
So let's see here. We see here there's green smoke coming out of the stormtroopers that these 3 took down.
Nothing ominous about that.
Kind of like when Marok died.
And their eyes glow green, and they get up and their bones are cracking, or their bodies are cracking. How we want to put it. Ahsoka looks back saying, Ezra, is this haven't happened before? He's like, no, this is new. Sabine's like, lucky us. So the undead night troopers overwhelm our three heroes here. And the Grey Movers are like saying, "Arise," and Ahsoka's like telling Beam and Ezra to seal the doors so they wouldn't, to quickly get rid of the undead stormtroopers because they can't stop them because they're dead.
Yeah, I can't really blame the guys here for not knowing how to handle zombies. They've never seen an episode of Walking Dead. They wouldn't know how that they should go for headshots. It's like, how do you stop a zombie? It's like headshot.
It's not the Jedi way to chop heads off.
Yeah. So they're like sealing the doors so the undead stormtroopers don't get through.
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka could force push all of them down the stairs. Like
she could, but she doesn't.
Get rocked. Like one force push, just boom, get out of my face.
Yeah. Earlier, that close. They were holding up the spaceship. They are using the Force to hold up a spaceship.
The Jedi shuttle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sabine was like, is closing the doors with her lightsaber, and Ezra says like, nice moves. Sabine's like, what's your excuse? And Ezra right in the scene right here, to Ahsoka, I missed you, and Ahsoka's like, come on, like, okay, nice to show your feminine side, and during this battle scene with the undead stormtroopers, like, good to know. So the Star Destroyer is slowly moving, so it's getting to prepare to get off planet.
Yeah, that's where the giant clamps are like clamping onto the corners of the Star Destroyer. That was pretty cool, actually seeing it match up, made up. They should have just done that like a couple episodes back.
Thrawn is like asking Enoch, is the information valid? Enoch says the preparations are underway. Morgan says we are ready to depart. Thrawn says the Jedi are advancing swiftly. At this rate, they may get on board the ship, which would be problematic. We require a little more time. Like, wait a minute here. You like the last episode said he had all the time you need. Now you're saying you don't have time.
Right.
He's got severe copium going through his veins.
Like, which is it? Are you a military tactician, a military genius, or are you a bumbling buffoon?
Bumbling buffoon.
Like when the Joker in Dark Knight was like, I don't have a plan. I'm just a guy chasing cars. And I'm a dog chasing cars. If I catch one out, I don't know what I do. It's like, okay, but that worked for him. But you're supposed to be this mastermind genius,
right?
Right. And Morgan
more like
says,
the wet bandits from
Wet Bandits.
We're the wet bandits.
Wet bandits. We're gonna clog your sink.
Even they were more successful.
Yeah.
Well, to a point, I guess.
No, I'm just saying before they ran into the McAllister kid, they had successfully robbed a few homes.
True.
When has he been successful? Saying you're successful and actually being successful
before you
is a
get
different
taken
thing.
down by Ezra.
Yeah, true. In a different series that if you didn't watch it, you would know. That's the problem. Like, I respect that it exists, but it's like I want some context in this show that I'm watching that he's actually a badass. But no, I don't want him to panic and get scared. Like, oh my god, they're getting closer. But like, just this confidence.
No, he keeps
his
cool.
Yes, this is according to my plan. This is all going to my design. It's like, no, don't lie to yourself.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Sure, buddy.
But he's keeping his cool. Morgan says she understands. Thrawn says for the Empire. Morgan says for Dathomir. Thrawn is going towards the starship. Morgan is, I guess, staying behind on the tower from the looks of it. But they,
she's also going to make a sacrifice.
Yep. So the stormtroopers burst through the door with some kind of cutting laser or something like that. So they're going through the doors. Like, not good. So our three heroes meet Morgan, who has the Blade of Talzin. I need to look that up. I need to see what the Blade of Talzin is, because I'm not really sure at this point. They really don't really go into detail what the blade really is, or where it's from, really, or like what's the story behind it. Really, didn't really go in depth about it.
No, we don't get any background to any of what's going on. It's just superficial, flashy action scenes, some minimal dialogue, and action scenes are supposed to be cool. We get this magic green flaming sword that is like conjured out of quite literally thin air.
We had the three witches. Yeah, the three great mothers. So Ezra, Sabine, and Ahsoka meet Morgan. Ahsoka tells Ezra Sabine to go ahead. She'll handle this. Sabine says, "We stay together, remember?" Ahsoka, says, "You gotta stop Thrawn, now go." So Ezra and Sabine go ahead while Morgan and Ahsoka fight here.
Just stupid, but yeah.
Yeah, so they're fighting with each other. And we go ahead here. So with let's see if I can get here. So Ezra and Sabine go ahead and they're dealing with these two black stormtrooper undead zombies, two of them, that are quite overpowered than a normal stormtrooper, apparently. And they're having a hard time with these two stormtroopers. And Ezra seemingly is getting thrown around with his lightsaber.
Right. Another good shot of the Star Destroyer being mated up with the hyperspace ring.
Mm-hmm. Admiral Thrawn's at the hyperspace ring, ready to get off the stranded planet / galaxy. The golden droid says our course is locked in. Thrawn gives permission to, take them out. So they're getting ready to leave the planet, the galaxy. Back to Sabine and Ezra. They're, having a difficult time with these two stormtroopers. Sabine is getting choked out here.
Mm-hmm.
And she uses
what a multitasker.
Here we go.
The Force to get her lightsaber from the floor.
Here we go.
And she takes the stormtrooper out by using the Force. So she's
yeah. This is like a callback to what was it? Luke on Hoth reaching for the lightsaber to get it before the snow beast killed him.
Mm-hmm. So she uses the Force to get the lightsaber while being choked by the stormtrooper, and so she successfully
she
kills it like Kylo did in Last Jedi.
Uses the Force. Uses the Force at this point
to get the lightsaber. That was a point where I said, "That's it. I'm done. I'm out."
So Sabine then uses her lightsaber, her blaster to fire the stormtrooper. Ezra right here uses the Force to get his lightsaber and beheads the stormtrooper. So they won the battle with those two stormtroopers.
Oh no, she fires up her lightsaber near its head and
okay.
Yep.
She uses the lightsaber to basically stab its brain. And like I was saying, in Last Jedi, Kylo Ren does that to one of the Red Guards. So it's a callback to Last Jedi right after callback to Empire.
Right.
So
okay.
I
bunch
like
of Star Wars stuff sprinkled in there for you, Star Wars fans.
Sprinkled. So back to Morgan and Ahsoka. They're battling, and the rest of stormtroopers get all through that blocked doors, some successfully, and Ahsoka and Morgan are still battling it out.
At least with these these zombies, you don't have to worry about being infected because they're wearing helmets and gloves, so they can't claw you or bite you. Right. I guess those ones that they fought with their masks like slightly damaged, but yeah,
so
no chance of infection.
The Dark Troopers are supposed to be partly cybernetic or cyborgs, from what I remember, if I'm remembering that right. The ones in the dark black armor.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we get to Ridiculous Town.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
Yes. Right here.
Oh, yes.
Right here. So, so the Star Destroyer in the hyperspace thing, we're slowly leaving the planet. Sabine and Ezra are too late to board the Star Destroyer. It's too late.
The slowest
Ezra.
departure ever.
Ahsoka and Morgan are still fighting. Ezra's telling Sabine he can't make that jump. Sabine says, "You can. Yes, you can." Ezra says, "I appreciate the confidence." Sabine's like, "No, I'll push you first, and you pull me across."
She would need to be a fucking Jedi master to pull this off.
They're going back and forth with each other, about this. And Sabine's like, the longer you hesitate, the harder this gets, and tells Ezra to come on. So they're ready. So I
would not trust her at all with this.
No.
She just used the Force for the first time in her life seconds ago.
Yeah.
Now she's gonna carry a full-grown man and levitate him at like mass distance.
No. Yeah, so she's going to force push him.
Yeah, so he runs and she forces push him onto the starship. Star Destroyer.
Yeah, and that's what bugs me about it is I don't have a problem with that idea, but it's just who they have doing it doesn't make sense. Like a Jedi can, assist another Jedi for a super Jedi jump. I'm fine with that. But her doing it, it's not been established that would even be remotely possible for her character. So but now she can just do whatever she wants with the Force.
Right. So he's on the Star Destroyer, takes the two stormtroopers out, and it says, Sabine, it's your turn now. Come on. Sabine is about to run ahead, but then notices Ahsoka and Morgan are fighting, and she is conflicted, not to leave Ahsoka, and that's just yelling at Sabine, come on. So back at the scene here, Morgan is to Ahsoka, your friends are dead and you will die here alone. Sabine backs up Ahsoka, saying she's not alone. Sabine is fighting the stormtroopers while Ahsoka and Morgan are fighting, and Morgan tells them to kill her. So they're fighting out. Sabine is taking care of the stormtroopers.
For a Mandalorian, her helmet comes off an awful lot.
And then Morgan and Ahsoka are battling out, and Ahsoka, wins, kills her. So
Stabs her with
Morgan,
and Morgan was never a match for Ahsoka.
And she became like Ahsoka the White, so she was like,
Yeah,
supposedly on another level, like than she was before, where she beat her before. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And the Great Mothers can sense this, that Morgan is no more, and the lead Great Mother says Morgan is dead. Thrawn said she has done what was required. She, I guess, lived out her usefulness at this point when she died.
So much copium by Thrawn. Like, yep, this is all part of my plan. I
Yep.
won again. Another victory
all
for me.
plan.
It's like, what the? How? Okay. Yeah, you're getting away, but you have to sacrifice literally everything that you had, except for you have your 3 witches, so you're good there. But
This is still-
so many troopers
Yeah.
and subordinates, and it's just okay.
So on the dead stormtrooper, you hear through, like, I don't know, intercom or something like that.
Yeah, comlink.
Comlink saying, LS-757 reinforcements have been dispatched to your position. Ezra picks it up saying 757 here, copy. And, thanks the dead stormtrooper for the heads up. I'm like, okay.
Which realistically, this whole thing would have been Ezra jumping, going, wee, then you hear it splat, and then, thud.
Dang. Jeez.
No, this is just how I see this show now. This show, like, I created a whole new icon for this show, the stormtrooper with the black cowboy hat on it, because I can't root for the New Republic. They're all idiots. I'm now rooting for the Empire. This show has turned me to the dark side. These people are stupid.
Ahsoka here in the scene, like, where's Ezra? Sabine's like going home. Ahsoka says, "When are you out of here?" Beeps to Huang, I guess, in the Jedi shuttle. Sabine says, "I'm right behind you." Grabs her helmet, and they jump off the tower. And it's revealed that before you get to that, you go back to Thrawn and the Great Mothers. Thrawn says, controls have the main battery target for the fortress for bombardment. So they're going to blow up the tower, and Night Sisters are not even bothered by this. Like, okay. The golden droid said affirmative, and Thrawn gives the permission to open fire at the tower.
Yeah, they can't hit people riding up to the tower, but they can blow the tower up. It's big enough. They can't miss that.
So Ahsoka and Sabine successfully landed on the Jedi shuttle, and the tower is getting destroyed with the rest of the stormtroopers on it, so they're expendable at this point.
Before it was all about keeping those resources tight. Now blow everything up through them, but it's all part of my plan. Pinky to face.
So, Star Destroyer and the hyperspace ring are off planet. They're gonna they're gonna go into hyperspace to go back to their galaxy, and Sabine's like, can we catch him? Huang's saying he's diverting all powers to the engines. The golden droid says, "We're tracking the Jedi shuttle. It's closing. in on the Star Destroyer. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll just have to do. Thrawn tells the Golden Droid to open a channel. And just telling Ahsoka here through the intercom, saying, "Allow me to commend you on your efforts today. You've been quite a worthy opponent." And Ahsoka's asking, like, "Can I get more power?" Thrawn says he regrets he haven't met her face to face, and perhaps now they or them will never shall, but still I know you because I knew your master. How did you exactly know Anakin Skywalker, Thrawn?
We'll never know.
Yeah. He said he concluded her strategies would be similar to Anakin Skywalker. One wonders just how similar you might become. Perhaps this is where a Ronin such as you belongs. Today is victory is mine. Long live the Empire. A hyperspace ring powers up and disappears. So Ahsoka and the others are too late, unfortunately. So they left it in the dust. So how are they gonna get back to their galaxy now? Since there's no space whales or anything like that.
I think in 7 years the whales come back.
Yeah. Well, all Ahsoka will just have to do is look
up. The ending is
whales.
The ending is so open ended. It's not even funny. They basically just leave it where they sing "Kumbaya" around the frickin' campfire, basically.
Yeah,
with a naughty, and that's about it.
That's pretty bad. I mean, I'm sure that at some point the space wolves will show up, and Ahsoka will telepathically ask them, "Hey, can you give us a lift back to our home?" And one of them will go, "Oh yeah, we'll do that," and they'll fly inside the mouth of one of them and just whoosh. But yeah,
it's Space Whale Uber.
Yeah.
So they lost their window of getting back home, I guess. So they're so Sabine and Ahsoka and Ezra go back to the village of the mobile home crab people, or the Noti, as they're called. Crab people are cheering, stuff like that. And then we hear Ahsoka hears a bird squawking, and it's the same bird that we see in Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, it's her owl.
Yeah,
it's her owl. Yeah. Yes, or I would say the daughter's owl.
the daughter's owl from the Mortis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the dad's,
because the daughter.
Yeah.
Remember, Anakin transferred the daughter's essence to Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm. And then you have the dad, and you have the brother.
Yeah, I wonder if that'll come up when we see Balin at the end. I wonder.
I don't know. That's a good.
Well, that's what the statues are that he's standing on, is the father.
Oh, the daughter,
and the.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that point yet.
So
there's
Shin.
Not much happens in between. Pretty crap ending.
She finds the bandits, and she powers up her lightsaber and shows her lightsaber off.
They're like, "Yeah, I'm your new ruler now. You take orders from me."
Yeah.
One of the most unsatisfying ends to a character arc in a show ever.
Yeah, and then we go to Balin here.
Lord.
And right here is father,
and
and
the
there's
statue is broken on the other
and
side.
there's
too.
the son. But oddly, we do not see the daughter right next to him.
There's
It's
pieces
Well,
broken.
that's
of it.
because
It's broken.
she is dead, and
You
that's
can see
Ahsoka.
a small
That's
frame
Wait
of
a
maybe
like
minute,
the
like
body.
I'm seeing right here.
Yeah, the body
That's
is there.
That's
what
her
is this?
body.
That's her.
Yeah,
That's
that's
her
her
body,
body.
but
but I don't know head, but just no head.
Yeah, that's
it's been
Ahsoka.
broken.
The father is going to be Balin, and of course the son is Shin. Is how they're setting this up, basically.
Supposedly, I mean, you know.
Yeah. But that's the theory, basically.
That's the theory. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Balin is just looking onward. So he has some kind of like secret mission / journey.
Well, he's probably being drawn to the power on that planet that scared the Night Sisters, and there's plenty of fan theory out there as to who or what that evil entity is that he's being attracted to.
If the Night Sisters are scared, why is Balin not being scared by this?
He's probably seeking it with intent.
Is there a light beam on the mountain in the distance? I've heard somebody say that, and I'm not sure.
You mean right here?
Yeah. Is there like a beam of light coming out?
Possibly,
say that
yeah.
Possibly. I have no idea. I just now noticed that, and then you mentioned it, and it's like, I don't know what it is.
It's very subtle.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's intentional. That could just be a break in the clouds.
Mm.
Or
Possibly.
that could be some kind of beacon.
Possibly.
Right.
I mean, hard to tell at this point.
Yeah.
We don't get any answers.
So let me go next. So the hyperspace, they're back in their own galaxy now. The hyperspace ring and the Star Destroyer are heading towards the planet Dathomir right now. Enoch says we're approaching Dathomir. And we go to, shows like the cargo area. What these cargo contain, we do not know at this point. Now we go to the New Republic. You see a ship coming off, like Imperial shuttle ship.
Yeah, old beat up Imperial shuttle.
Yeah, her and the others are like being cautious with this, and you see a stormtrooper coming off the
Why would
ship.
he still be in stormtrooper gear?
Exactly. Why? It's so stupid.
I don't know.
What if they shot him? What if they all just opened fire?
Yeah. So Chopper
God.
senses something's familiar about this person, goes up towards him,
It's such a lame
and
reveal.
it's revealed it's Ezra.
Yeah. How did he even get off the Star Destroyer? How did he manage to steal a ship undetected?
I don't know.
Don't worry, we didn't need to see any of that important stuff.
Yeah, we didn't need to see any of that.
Off screen, all the stuff happens at off screen. Just fill in the blanks yourself, audience.
Hera's like, Ezra? And Ezra's like, hi, Hera, I'm home. Like, hey, long time no see.
Yeah.
So back to Ahsoka and Sabine. Sabine says, like, we're almost packed. Ahsoka said, you did well. Sabine's like, doubtful, like, she's like, did I? Thrawn got away. Ahsoka turns to her and says, thanks to you, Ezra got home. And Sabine says she hopes so. Ahsoka says he did. Ezra's where he needs to be, and so are we. It's time to move on. And Sabine's like looking forward, and Ahsoka is like, what is it? She said, I felt like nothing, just shadows in the starlight. Sabine goes back to the village. Ahsoka looks on and heads back to the village as well. But before the episode ends, we see, if I can,
yay.
We see Anakin, the Force ghost of Anakin Skywalker, looking on Ahsoka Tano and her apprentice Sabine, and that's it. That's the end of the episode. That's episode 8. The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. I love this little member berry right here, right at the end of the episode.
But, I mean, Anakin's like my favorite character, so when they show and it's Hayden Christensen, it's like, all right, he's back. But yeah, it's just like I wouldn't if I was him, I wouldn't be that proud of my apprentice. But
no.
Good job. You got yourself stuck on a distant galaxy and you released one of the greatest threats ever back on our galaxy, and you can't stop him. Good job. I don't know. Sure.
Alrighty. That is episodes 7 and 8 of Star Wars Ahsoka.
Put a fork in it. It's done. I am done.
When's the cliffhanger for the other show?
Okay. Okay. Before we talk about we thought about these 2 episodes, let's get caught up with the chat here.
Right.
Okay. Let's see here. We got Lester. Thank you for coming, Lester. Thank you for coming, Killer Rabbit. Thank you for coming, Mikey. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Phantom Wannabe. Hello, Castle. Yes, smash that like button and share the stream out. And if you'd like to see her, subscribe. Emerald Teague's here. Hello. Dialect's here. Hello, Dialect. Yes, I do use Twitch. I'm multi-streaming on Twitch and Twitter right now. And you can look at all my socials on this link right here. I'm thinking of trying out Twitch. Any advice? Just do you, really. That's and have fun, really. It's okay. I'll look at this image and I just don't see Star Wars.
Yeah.
I agree. Next up, TFA. Again, doesn't look all that cool in this pic either. It's from TROS2. Hello, Dead Man Walking. How are you? I really just dislike the look of this vehicle. Good. How are you all? I'm doing good. Why rat horses? Right. I don't know. Hello, Wes Cagle. How are you? LOL. Y'all are even laughing at it. LOL.
Yeah.
I wondered for these snail people, what happened to the loser crab people in Aquaman 1? I don't know.
I forgot.
When they make the lightsaber, Ezra repeatedly corrects the 25-year-old combat and arms making... You mean 25K year old combat and arms making robot. So 25,000 years old robot. Mm-hmm. Ezra hasn't had a lightsaber in 10 years, but he knows more than that droid.
Right.
Good Rosario can't do simulated combat. She known for how long her character is a Jedi. Fencing lessons are a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Apion.
Yeah, it's like fight choreography. it hasn't really been consistent. Some episodes, the fight choreography has been really good. Some episodes, it's been pretty bad.
All right, we'll catch up to the chat a little bit later, but because Apion has to go soon. But let's talk about episode 7 here. Episode 7 for me was a hit and miss. Basically, I mean, I did love the chase scene with the crab people and the bandits, especially with the bumper cars. That was fucking hilarious. What I didn't love about it was that Ezra was just really totally defenseless and just using the force. Really, he wasn't really. He said to Sabine to keep the lightsaber. You know, when she has the blasters, he should have just said, "Yeah, I'll take the lightsaber," and that will be it. But no, he was totally defenseless, even though he's using the force. Let's see what else. Well, I did like the fight scene with Balin and Ahsoka for sure. I would like to see more of that, but it was very short lived to be honest. What also I didn't like was there are some points in this episode that didn't really make sense, really. Yeah, that's basically what I think about episode 7. What about you, Pop?
These 2 episodes are just kind of a sad letdown. I think the series peaked with episode 4, was it? That we all really enjoyed. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff going on in episode 4, and then it just kind of fell off a cliff after that, much like Ahsoka. I mean, the quality of the writing took a nosedive, the fight choreography took a nosedive. A lot of things leave it wide open to speculation. I mean, fans will look at this and will just be speculating about what will happen next. And actually, all our fan theories will probably be much better than what we get next season.
Right.
I mean, it certainly just leaves it wide open for bad fan fiction. I can see bad fan fiction around Sabine. I mean, the only other Mandalorian Jedi, so this leaves the door open to her traveling to Mandalore, fighting for the dark saber, attaining the dark saber with her Jedi powers, becoming the next Mandalorian. I mean, that's where this could go. I mean, it leaves it open to how bad can it get story wise. Well, so Sabine could wind up on the Mandalorian, get the dark saber, and become Mandalore.
Ooh. Battle of the girl bosses with her and Bo-Katan.
Yeah,
that would be interesting.
Let's see.
Sabine has force powers, so she would beat
She would beat Bo-Katan easily, and Din Djarin gave up any claim to any leadership role because they made his character a wuss. It's like, no, this like if you want to talk bad fan fiction, that's where they could take it. They could even have Sabine pick up the pieces of the broken darksaber and go, I can fix this.
Remember, she's a tech genius too, and
she's a weapons master. It's like Mandalorians; they're weapons masters. You don't stand between a Mandalorian and a weapons system.
Apian, what do you thought about episode 7?
That was one of my least favorite episodes. I thought there was no urgency. It didn't feel like a penultimate episode to anything. It just people meandering, taking their sweet time because they know the script and they know Thrawn won't leave, so they can just take their sweet time. I thought the The chase scene was silly, where none of the nomads decided to attack the one thing that's shooting back at you, and they attack the other ones for some reason, like that are doing nothing. Like there's no reason. You have those wolves, you have these weird sticks that can take it out. Like you would use that immediately on the one that has people shooting at you, I would think. But I don't know. I didn't like how this show ended. Like it was very anticlimactic, and it felt like there could have been a few more episodes to flesh out things and really give us an actual ending to a story. But it all just felt like one big cliffhanger leading into something else.
If we had an actual story, because we had memberberry after memberberry. Now, I don't mind the occasional callback or a memberberry, but when you have episodes littered with memberberries, it gets kind of tedious and annoying. It's like, remember when Star Wars didn't suck? It's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Positive Candor, what are your thoughts about episode 7?
Yeah, 7 set up, or didn't set up, and 8 didn't conclude anything in this whole series. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of just drop plot points that they make and then don't, and then they, but because Thrawn says, "Oh yeah, Balin and Shin are on their own."
Yep.
But then later on we see him saying, "Oh yeah, they're just where we want them to be," and then all of a sudden he says, "Well, Balin's off the battlefield." Yeah, I mean, he's clueless pretty much. It turns a Grand Admiral Thrawn into a clueless nitwit pretty much.
Yeah. His ever-changing definition of success. It's like, oh, this is all going according to plan. This is also going all according to plan. And that also went according to plan.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it ended up just being a hot mess or cold mess, whatever, with no resolution at the end, and Sabine maybe or maybe not seeing Anakin's ghost, but who cares, really?
Yeah.
All right. With my thoughts on episode 8, I mean, I love the fighting with Morgan and Ahsoka. I loved. The choreograph could be a little bit better though. With Sabine and Ezra, I thought the jumping scene to the Star Destroyer ship was unnecessary, really, in my opinion. But I also love the memberberries of at the end of the episode we see Anakin's Force Ghost looking on Ahsoka and her apprentice Sabine. I did like. What I didn't like was there were a few questions here that weren't really answered. What's the cargo ship for? What's the purpose of the cargo ship here? Stuff like that. Also, what is the Blade of Telzin? They didn't really go into that as well. There's some questions here that have not been answered that I think they should be answered. But overall, I did, some like the episode, especially with the memberberries in this episode as well. With these 2 episodes, it's like a hit and miss for me, really. And the series as a whole at this point, I'm 50-50 at it at best. There are some good things about it, but also there's stuff that have left been out unanswered, like plot holes and stuff that didn't make sense. So I would say if you really want to give this TV series a chance, I would do so, and just trying to keep an open mind with it. Pop, what's your thoughts about these 2 episodes and the series as a whole?
I
mean, episode 8.
Well, the jump scene was comically bad. Like I said, I was waiting for wee splat, Thud. I mean, all of a sudden, Sabine has force powers, doing something that you would expect of a experienced Jedi, not somebody that just, oh, the plot calls for it. All of a sudden, she conveniently has force powers now.
Yeah, she went from level 1 to 100 in like a second.
Yeah. It's like she's super girl boss. This is super girl boss number 1, 2, 3. I guess Hera would be number 4. I don't know. It's like plot holes that you could fly a Star Destroyer through, a lot of unanswered questions, a lot pretty open-ended storytelling. I mean, we fans are going to have field days with speculating like what's going to happen next. We could all write volumes of fan fiction about how the show could go, where it might go, what'll happen next.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's whatever Disney Star Wars will give us. It's like, I hate to be down on it, but this show was just really bad. I was hoping to enjoy it. I was hoping to like it, and there were parts that I quite enjoyed. Balin and Shin, we all enjoyed those two characters, but the rest of it was lacking. Now, anybody out there who genuinely loves this show, well, that's great. I'm not going to say you shouldn't like the show. If you genuinely love it, that's fantastic. I mean, I'm not going to rain on your parade. It's just I found it lacking. I mean, I do believe I have found a cure for my insomnia. It's called Ahsoka, because I quite literally feel myself nodding off right now just watching these clips. Like, oh, I got to stay awake. We're talking about this show. I have to stay awake. I'm awake. I'm awake. Okay. Yeah.
Avion, what are your thoughts about episode 8 and the series as a whole?
I liked the few episodes. I liked the few scenes in episode 8. But like you guys were saying, it doesn't wrap up anything. It doesn't finish the story that it was trying to tell. Mm-hmm. It all just felt like one big trailer preview for something bigger and something else. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's fine. You could set up other stuff, but you have to at least finish the story you were telling in your own show before you even earn the right for me to be excited for next product. And it just bothers me that everything seems more assembly line. This is going to lead to some Avengers type movie with all the different TV characters. And it's like, that's cool and all in multiple years, but I'd love you to tell a complete story right now instead of having me with a bunch of unanswered questions.
Yep.
And that's it.
A lot of setup and very little payoff.
Mm-hmm.
I expected more, and
I was hoping for more. I wanted to like this show. I mean, like I've said, like we were talking about in like episode 1 and 2, I don't want to come off hating Disney Star Wars. I want to come here saying, look at what Disney's done. This is fantastic. But they're not giving it to me. They're not giving me something I can enjoy. And that's just unfortunate part. It's like I don't want to automatically come here and say this is going to suck from the get-go. Nope.
Yeah.
I want to say this show was fantastic, but it's not. I just can't say that.
Mm-hmm. Also, Candor, what's your thoughts about episode 8 and the series as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, episode 8 was open-ended for all the wrong reasons, basically. I guess they meant to have it as a cliffhanger for season 2, but it was pretty ineffective for the most part because you had a bunch of stuff unresolved, a bunch of stuff that they never addressed, and yeah, so we'll see whenever season 2 comes out. But yeah, it basically peaked early and just went downhill.
Yeah.
After that, when they couldn't wrap up the story or even get into the stories that they were trying to tell. So yeah, I mean it's and then that don't get me wrong, but the actor Hera was terrible. Ezra was terrible. I mean, all the good guys are a bunch of wooden figures, kind of with their acting.
When the best good guy actor was David Tennant, and you never see his face.
Yeah. Huane is your best, and then the Empire's characters are way more. At least Balin and Shin. Thrawn was kind of boring in a way, which is pretty bad for setting up the baddie when you have him being so bad. So I hope they can correct it for season 2. Otherwise,
I'm sorry, my kitty is trying to get my attention. I'm sorry.
Oh, your kitty's trying. Yeah, my kitty has been meowing all night long. It's like she knows when I go on live stream.
But basically peaked in the middle.
Would you say episode 4 was the peak?
With the Anakin and Ahsoka, was that 4?
I like that episode.
When they were fighting.
That's
okay,
5.
5. Okay, so 5 is probably 4 and 5 are basically.
Yeah,
peak.
4 was great.
Yeah, 4 was heavily Balin and Shin centered.
Mm-hmm.
4 was, I think 4 was the peak for me. But I could see where people would enjoy episode 5.
Parts of 5. Were at least the part with Anakin and Ahsoka.
Yep.
That part, especially when they go back, the Anakin leading.
Yeah, I can see that.
Leading Ahsoka in that battle scene and everything.
And the girl actress playing young Ahsoka was great.
She
I
nailed
agree. Yeah.
She was out acting Rosario Dawson.
That whole scene with Anakin being the Jedi we all know he was, and the greatness he was way better than any Star Wars Anakin we saw previously in the prequel trilogy, which is so that episode to me, at least that part.
Mm-hmm.
After that, when they're searching as soon as they search for Ahsoka, adios. I mean, it goes downhill, never recovers from that.
Yeah. Once they had Ahsoka the Gray become Ahsoka the White, that's another thing where I was throwing up my hands, going, "Oh, that's it. I can't stand this."
So pretty much they should have just stopped the series there. After that Anakin part, then you had that as your freaking cliffhanger with she gonna come back or isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go on to the next season.
That might have been a better season finale. You're right. Like that might have been a better way.
Yeah, it's like it perfectly leaves it off in limbo. It's like, what happened to Ahsoka? Is she going to come back?
That would have been that would have been a way better ending than the ending they came up with. Believe me.
Yeah, like have that and then show like the glimpse of Thrawn. He's like standing there with his hands behind his back. He smirks, fade to black, and season ends.
And then you could have a little Thrawn Easter egg in there during the credits.
I don't know. I love the scene of Anakin looking on Ahsoka and her apprentice. Really,
on episode 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. And then it's up to, I guess, interpretation whether Sabine actually saw him in the clouds or not. Some are saying yes, some are saying no. But that at least that recovers somewhat. But that being basically the best part, and then Balin overlooking everything on top of the father's hand, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two best parts of episode 8, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Dalek 451 saying Huang is easily the best character in the show. Yeah, he's one of the better characters. I would say hands down Balin and Shen, followed by Huang, followed by Carson or Captain Carson or whatever the
Tiva,
pilot's Tiva.
Yeah.
Tiva Carson or Carson Tiva.
I gotta go, y'all.
All right.
Thank you for coming,
Thank you.
Apion.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, very
Gonna head out too.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to show anything out, Apion, before you take off?
Might play some games on my channel. I'm gonna talk about Friday the 13th tomorrow with Uninspired
right
Reviewer. We're gonna talk about all those movies and Jason's legacy and everything. But other than that, that's it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yep.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for coming, Apion.
Thanks for having me. And see you all later. Take care, everybody.
Later. Have a good one.
Later.
And I gotta go.
All right. Positive Candor, thank you for coming.
Past midnight. Well, almost past midnight. But yeah. Anyway. But yeah. Hopefully it gets better next season. That's all we can
It will be a coin flipper for me if I watch next season. I mean, I am at the point where sadly I am just apathetic about Disney Star Wars now. I could take it or leave it. It's like that point. It's like, meh, I've got better things to do with my time. Sadly, it's come to that point.
Yeah. I mean, at least Andor's more. I'm more interested in seeing season 2 of that than season 2.
I did a dialogue. I addressed him. I guess you weren't here when I addressed him, but I will again. Your question was right up the top. I'm thinking of turning out Twitch. Any advice? Yeah, just do you really. Do what you do best. On Twitch, and that's all the advice I can give. Just be yourself, really. If you want to go
play whatever game you like to play the best stuff.
Yeah, if you want to stream on Twitch, go for it. It's not going to be easy, but yeah, Bye, Positive Candor. Oh no, not that. I haven't. Oh, did you message me something on Twitter? I don't see anything.
Oh, he might have. I don't know if he's possibly saying that he was directly messaging you on the Twitter platform through Twitch.
Oh, you didn't see my messages on Twitch,
right? So he was. It reads like he was trying to message you on Twitch.
No, I don't. Let's see. Let me go through it real quick. No, I didn't get anything from you on Twitch, Dalek. Not from what I see. I don't know. I'm sorry about that. I don't really see it coming through on my end. But anyway, let me get to these rest of the chats, and then we're gonna call it a night.
Okay. Yeah, it is getting pretty late.
Yeah.
We're getting close to the 3.5 hour mark, I see.
Yeah. Isaac, hello. Saber Tiger, hello. Did we reach space zombies yet? Warning spoilers. Yes, we did.
Yeah. No, boy.
Thrawn is looking at a bigger picture. Effectively, my enemies are distracted and he accomplished his goals. Okay. Why did Balin just dip and chill on a statue? because he's looking for something. He's looking at something that is calling to him, some kind of higher power that scares the Night Sisters. And hello, Ward 789. He didn't really lose though. He still accomplished his goals. That's kind of the point. He's not trying to win the battle. Closer to Asian war tactics, giving the enemy victories.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just the way it is written. It doesn't come across very well as to that. It could have been written a little bit better, scene by scene, how Thrawn is declaring his victory by making them waste time or do useless chores, essentially.
Fun bit. The droid is supposed to be 25,000 years old, dating back to the original Jedi Order. Kanan's master was human. We actually get a retcon for Kanan in Bad Batch. I have to watch that show. Haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to get eventually around to it. Kanan, I met his story has changed a bit. Okay. The Bad Batch lets Kanan go instead of killing him. Okay. I mean, kind of makes sense.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean there. Yeah.
Huang is over 25,000 years old, all the way back to the original order. Yeah, I got that. True Sabine should be building a new one. Granted, she tried to give Ezra his lightsaber back. He told her to keep it, which is that doesn't make any sense.
That's pretty silly.
Except it was explained the Empire extensively used propaganda, hit jobs, and more to downplay the Jedi role in Clone Wars, even giving credit for victories to Republic military officers. Gotta go. Bye. Have a good night, Isaac. Zombie stormtroopers has to be one of the stupidest thing to come out of Disney Star Wars.
Yep. I want to say the zombie stormtroopers came up in a comic book, but I could be misremembering that. I don't know if it was pre or post Disney Star Wars, but I seem to remember like zombie stormtroopers storyline in a comic book someplace.
Yeah, Pop says he didn't care for the zombie stormtroopers either. Hello, Murray Kitty. Yep. Hugs everyone. Per Raquel Kitty. Yo, Apion. Somehow he just knew Anakin, just like somehow the Emperor came back. Emperor. More dramatic arm folding. Best part of the episode when it ends.
Yes.
Winky face. Wing is easily the best character in the show. Agreed. Let's see. I don't know why your Twitch comments not coming through. Dalek. I can check to see if my end if there's anything going on. I don't know why.
I don't know. I know nothing about Twitch. I'm not even on it, so
I'm streaming on Twitch right now.
Oh, that's cool. Are they prone to technical issues? Maybe. I don't know.
Let me see here. I'm streaming on it right now. I don't see your comment on the Twitch side of things, Apion. I mean, Dialect, I'm sorry. Getting confused here. No, I don't see anything. I don't know what's really going on. But I am multi-streaming on Twitch and on Twitter.
That's cool.
You can, let's see, let me get my link again. Let's see, let me get my link again here. Yep, here's all my socials you can follow me on Linktree right here. And also, please follow me on my gaming channel. I do play games on there, and I'll be continuing to finish Gotham Knights and Hogwarts Legacy on my gaming channel. So follow me on there. I'll be playing on my gaming channel this weekend. So follow me on there.
Cool.
And
I just dropped my link in the private chat.
I see that. You have anything coming up?
Oh, I just finished ISOM #1. That was a pretty cool comic book. Nice setup for the Ripperverse. And I got that like middle last week, and I just finished reading it. So that was pretty cool. I will probably do a pretty good review video on that. Quite anticipating getting issue 2. Then besides doing a comic book review, I'll probably be doing more live streams now that I have a good desktop PC.
Nice.
I just finished setting it up, so yeah, my old one kind of died on me, so I had to get
a
new one. Yeah, for the longest time I was on my laptop, a 10-year-old laptop, and not much you can do on that, but it was keeping me going. So yeah, for me, future live streams, future reviews, comic book chat, pop culture republic, where I will talk about just about anything and everything.
Yep. There's Pop Culture Republic's channel. Follow him on there.
Thank you.
And also check out Apion's channel as well.
There it is.
And you can also check out my gaming channel. And I want to say thank you to everyone that came on tonight. Our panelists, our people in the chat, thank you so much. Lester, Keller Rabbit from Space, Mikey, the Panawanabe, Castle, Admiral Teague, Dalek, Dead Man Walking, Wes Cagle,
yeah,
Isaac, Saber the Tiger, Word 789, and Mora Kitty. Thank you so much, Positive Candor, Apion, and you, Pop, for coming on here tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. As we wrap up Ahsoka season 1, put a fork in it. It's done.
Yep,
so am I.
Yep, this is season 1 of Star Wars Ahsoka is done. I don't know what's going on, Apion. Sorry, Dalek. Sorry, I was getting late for me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why it's not going through Dalek. I really don't know.
It could be some glitches in Twitch. I mean, wasn't a few weeks ago YouTube was having some hiccups here and there? I kept hearing people complain about YouTube is doing this or YouTube's doing that, or like it's not working right. It could be something.
Not to my recollection.
Yeah, okay. I seem to remember hearing something about that. Maybe it was like some time back. Yeah, I know nothing about Twitch, so I really can't.
I'm not sure like what's going on. Like I wish I could help, but I don't know. But thank you for everyone coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. Yep. Thanks for all hanging out tonight. If you like what you see here, subscribe, click that like button, and share this stream out. I really appreciate it. And with that, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Good, everybody.
Good night, all.
If this is your first time being here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RaquelSSG2211. Catch you later.